circles, lost and found. Loving you goes in circles, round and round. Loving you goes in circles, lost and found.
Wow, deputy.
See how we looking. See how we looking. We perfect. Bam. And, sorry I had some technical difficulties, Let me get that straightened out. But so we got some for this stream. We're gonna have some, a few topics. Then we're gonna get into some reactions, and then I don't know, maybe play some games later. So I got a few things that cooking up. Okay, so also, right, this is crazy. So, tell me why I've never done nothing like this before. Tell me why I bought this super tough X-Men like bomber jacket, right? It's so clean, dumb clean. It's all like that one, where I forget who drew it or whatever. But if you know, it's like boom, right? Tough, nice, excellent quality. Dude who made it, he be at DreamCon, he be selling stuff on Instagram and stuff like that. So tough. So tell me why it gets here. First, that's really what I was first waiting to start the stream with is getting this jacket so I can put it on. So it gets here. I'm all bad. Here we go. Open it. I'm like, open it. Nigga. I was looking at it, I was like, this look kind of small to be, look kind of small to be like a bomber jacket. Yeah, I won't get banned this time. But I was like, this looking kind of small to be like a bomber jacket. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, maybe they're going for, like a future Trunks crop top situation. You know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, maybe. And then I'm like, hold on. So then I put my arm in it, and I was like, this is kind of tight. This is like way tighter than it need to be. Then I look at the tag, and I was like, this nigga sent me an extra small, and I asked for extra large, and I was like, wait, did I ask for it an extra small instead of extra large? So then I look on like my order confirmation and everything, and I did. I'm so disappointed in myself because it's so tough, and I'm not either I'm about to ask him, can he get like you have to ask him, can he get me like a an exchange for a new one or for like at the right size or whatever, or a refund or something. I messaged the dude on Instagram, so I have to wait and see. But bruh, this is super tough. Or maybe like if he'll be at DreamCon and he's selling them again, I might be able to get a new one. But bro, it's so tough too. Like the quality on this is amazing. Or maybe I can exchange it for some. I don't know. He also has one. I saw one he had. I don't know if it's out or not yet, but he made one that was like, uh, it was like, have you ever seen OG the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire? Um, the first Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire, where he had like the hoodie on. It was a Spider-Man hoodie. Let's see, Spider-Man one, with the hoodie and the shiesty when he spun the block for Uncle Ben. Basically this, but like a way better version with the shiesty. Oh, Spider-Man one. What was it? What would you call it? Fursuit. Fursuit. Yeah, this right here. I don't even know if you can see it. I'm stupid. You can't even see it. This right here, but with the short string, you can see it. But this right here, you can fit it. Bro, when I put my arm in that jacket, I was like, there's no way it's supposed to be this tight. Like, I was like, there's no way this is an XL because my arms ain't that big and my arms ain't that big. You know what I mean? So I was like, what? Over and I was like, oh, ain't no way. I was dumb hyped for it too. It got here quick too. That's the other thing. So I don't know. Maybe I can ship it back to him and then I have to wait to see if I ship it. But he's making one like this where it's a hoodie and it's basically this design and it has a zipper. It looked pretty tough too. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I was so disappointed in myself. I was like, there's no way I did that. I was in disbelief because literally I almost did that. Try it on. No, I want to rip it and I can't return it. But literally, uh, I looked at it before I bought it and I was like, oh, there's a extra small one. I almost bought it. So I was like, no, let me take that out the cart. And I thought I added the extra large one, and then I bought it and I was like, whatever. I didn't even look at the confirmation or nothing like that because I just assumed I bought the right one because I'll never buy like a 6 sizes too small or whatever. And so disappointed. Anyway, let's get into some story. Let's get into some movie news. What should we start with here? We're on comic book movie. Mm-mm-mm. George R. R. Martin calls details abysmal relationship with showrunner Ryan Coogler. I ain't gonna lie, George R. R. Martin, nigga, you still gotta finish the Game of Thrones books. So you shouldn't be worried about any relationship you have with the showrunners. You be focused on writing the books. From what I understand, spoilers if you haven't seen Game of Thrones, the show, he's still at the part where Jon Snow, spoilers again, he's still at the part where Jon Snow dies in the books. And they haven't like included that at all. Like that's like the cliffhanger it's left off on. So like, why aren't you worried about that instead of worried about House of the Dragon season two, something you already finished writing and everything? House of the Dragon is fire so far to me. So I don't know what they have been consulting you on or have not been consulting you on, but nigga, get to writing. You how old is he? He gotta be how old is he? He gotta be like George. Spell George wrong. George R. R. Martin. How old is this nigga? He gotta be like he's 70. Nick, if you don't finish this story before you die, he's like, bro, you don't got that much long. Like you're 77. Like, bruh. Like he still hasn't finished it. And like he's not even close to finishing. Like around that part, that's like around what, season 6 or 5 of Game of Thrones? And it went on for 3 more seasons past what he wrote. So he even know whatever. I'm just saying you don't need to be worried about that. But on some more Game of Thrones news, we might be getting a spin-off show about Arya. And it's like a sequel to the OG Game of Thrones show. So again, some spoilers if you haven't seen it, even though it came out like 10 years ago or whatever. But because apparently there was gonna be a Jon Snow show, but they scrapped it. Right. which I don't even know what that would be about though. That's another thing. Same thing with this Arya show. I don't know. Well, I guess she was kind of exploring and going on sailing, whatever. But anyway, let's read this report. So, a new report details HBO plans for a Game of Thrones sequel, and it has a different lead and setting. We also have more on what direction Jon Snow's show would be going before it got scrapped. Let's see. Yeah, he still hasn't finished it. Like I just said, he still isn't done. Would another book supposed to follow that? What? He's supposed to make another book before he finishes the book he ain't finished for like 8 years, bro. Come on. How he? Whatever. Anyway, Game series wrapped. Still, with this version of Epic Tale concluded, HBO has already considered a sequel to the show titled Snow that was going to revolve around Jon Snow after he travels north of the Wall following the events of Game of Thrones. According to the Hollywood Reporter, Harrington, working with two writers from his drama series Gunpowder, was interested in mapping out a tale of Snow living alone as a broken man with PTSD. Okay. Uh, having chased off his. Wait, what? Having chased off his direwolf ghost and thrown away his sword Longclaw, John spent his time building cabins and burning them back down again. Nigga, what? Oh, this does not sound like this does not sound like what I would want to see from this. Harrington also wanted John to die and to avoid being a hero. What the fuck? I don't like that. Well, I'm glad they scrapped it if that's what they was gonna do. HBO probably felt too much of a bummer. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, damn. Like you got the super short end of the stick. He was like, but anyway, too much of a bummer, but now turned to writer Kwok Dong Tron. Kwok Don Tron. Kwok Dang Tran. Quack. I already said that. From Drops of God to work on another sequel series. This time, one possibly is shifting the drama to the Mediterranean like land of Essos and adding another hugely popular legacy character, Arya Stark. It's unclear whether Harrington will be involved in any way. In insider notes, we are very interested and excited to be or excited by the prospect of a sequel, but is also keenly aware of how high the bar of the execution needs to be. Other spin-offs include blah blah blah. Yeah, I would rather much see a Aegon Targaryen series when he like conquered Westeros than I would like it. Wait, they want it to be a movie? I don't know about a movie, but I'd rather see a show about that than I would Jon Snow just being depressed the whole show and then wanting to kill himself or something. And or Arya could be cool, I guess. I don't know. Maybe explain how her powers work. I don't fucking know. That could be something interesting. Um, Still good on streaming and everything. I mean, yeah, cool. Where was that? And then yeah, I would rather see Aegon Targaryen show, or just more Targaryen shows in general, because there's some other stuff they could tell even after him. That I'd much rather see than Arya exploring the seven seas. I guess I don't know. She becomes a pirate or something. I don't know. Okay, yeah. Okay, boom. So yeah, basically, you might be getting another Game of Thrones spinoff. There's one coming out this Sunday. That takes place like 100 years before Game of Thrones, and House of the Dragon takes place like a few hundred years before Game of Thrones. So, and it's about Sir Duncan the Tall. He's like, there's like just I guess just his tales of how he ended up being a good knight or whatever. Which it looks like it's more about to be like more of a comedy, but I'm not really like. I'll check out the first episode, but I don't know if I'm super interested in seeing that one, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's some Game of Thrones. I really wish we would have got the Jon Snow spinoff, but if that's what it was going to be, they could have kept it, and I'm glad they did because yeah, I don't know. I just it's like that's not it. That's not, not that he needs to be like a complete like hero. He's fine with what he did at the end of the show, but he shouldn't just be like building out like just throw away, kick out his direwolf that stayed with him the whole time, saved his life multiple times. Threw away his sword that what's his name gave him, and then all the other stuff they said. No, I ain't with that. Okay, let's go back to the news. Let's see what else you got. Moving on. Oh yeah, so this is some potential spoilers, I guess, for Avengers Doomsday. So I've been seeing stuff about this for like the last like since like a month or two ago. But they were saying there's multiple people that's on the Fantastic Four ship. If you haven't seen Thunderbolts at the end of the post credit scene, in spoilers, if you haven't seen Thunderbolts at the end of the post credit scene, basically the Thunderbolts are like the new Avengers or whatever, and they get like an interdimensional distress thing or whatever, and the Fantastic Four ship is coming through. But apparently, it's not just the Fantastic Four that's on this ship, and uh, hold on, sorry, I was checking something. Wait, what? Oh, sure. And basically the task force is not the only one on the trip, and it might be like multiple different characters, like maybe multiverse characters and stuff like that. So I'm just like, because I've heard Toby would be on the ship. I've heard like from Toby Spider-Man will be on the ship. Wolverine and Deadpool will be on the ship. Doctor Doom is now what niggas are saying is gonna be on the ship, and multiple other characters. And who knows? Let's read this article. Let's see what's going on. A new Avengers Doomsday rumor claims to reveal the three additional characters who are aboard the Fantastic Four ship's first scene in Thunderbolts post-credit scene. Thunderbolts, blah blah blah. Yeah, I already said that. That ended with them, whatever. There's already been speculation about Doctor Doom being on board this ship, being on board after he arrives in the Baxter Building in the Fantastic Four first steps mid-credit scene. Now, a new rumor claims to reveal who exactly traveling along Marvel's first family. According to My Time to Shine Alone, Thor and Steve are already on the Fantastic Four ship with Doom before it arrives in the MCU. Wait, what? So maybe because if you remember the first teaser when he shows him with the baby, whatever, maybe Doctor Doom does pull up to his house. He thinks it's like some enemy thing, and then Doom's like shows his face, and then Steve thinks it's Tony or whatever. And then he like convinces them we need to come with us because incursions of the world about the end universe, yada yada. And they all end up on the ship. That's the only thing I can think of, especially Thor, because I don't know. That's very interesting. Okay, the implication is that Earth 616 isn't. Yeah, I think that's definitely what they're going to be doing, but with the raft thing. But I wonder what like how deep into the movie that would be, because I don't know. Because I do think that's what's going to happen. I think that's why they were going to Wakanda. Like in the Wakanda trailer that they just dropped, I'm pretty sure they like edited some stuff out because I'm pretty sure that's something that they're going to use or getting Shuri's help with to like build a raft or whatever like that. So I'm wondering that's interesting that they went and get like who they're picking to do it. Because I would assume since he's going to have Tony's face, he's going to definitely use that in some way. You would think. I don't know. Let me keep reading. Okay, that the Earth 616 isn't the first stop. While it makes sense for the Fantastic Four and Doom to take Captain America from the branch timeline he created, we can't currently figure out how Thor found himself. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. How did Thor get there? Unless it's a Thor variant. If this rumor makes anything clear, it's that we know surprisingly little about the Marvel Studios plan for Avengers Doomsday. Yeah, we really don't know what that in like Spider-Man Brand New Day. There's some stuff about that I want to talk about too because he's supposed to be getting some organic webbing or something. It's another. Oh yeah. Um, these claims do however line up with what we've heard about Doom presenting himself as a hero. Yeah, okay. As he counters on the sacred line, the Russos will need to be careful not repeat Thanos' arc. He was another character who saw himself as a hero. Well, I mean, I feel like that's most good villains. I think they're the hero because I don't think that's really would be repeating Thanos' arc necessarily. I think most when you make a good villain, they always think that they're right. You know what I mean? In some way, shape, or form. Wait, what? In related news, the insider is reporting that Luke Cage was used as a code name for Chris Evans. I already heard that before, but which is funny. But yeah, I don't think that'd be repeating necessarily the same arc as Thanos, because Thanos has like had like different motivations than Doctor Doom would. Thanos just wanted to like cut half the universe in half and like spare like stop from fighting over resources or whatever. Doctor Doom more like yeah, I'm just gonna control it. Like everything is coming to an end, but I'm just gonna like control everything we can save, and then I'm gonna be the ruler of it all, basically. Like, cause Thanos didn't really want to rule anything. He was just like, yeah, I saved all by doing this. Y'all got it from here. You can give a fuck. You didn't really care after that. But yeah. So I do think they're gonna do the raft thing, but I think the Fantastic Four ship isn't gonna be the raft. I would assume. Cause I also saw something that said maybe there might be certain heroes that might sacrifice themselves to save other heroes to get on the raft while they try to do whatever. Which is gonna be interesting because you would think they're gonna try to grab some X-Men or something, unless I don't know. Because I could see something else where maybe Doctor Doom pits like multiple teams against each other. Because I do think that's what he's gonna end up doing. And while they're like fighting with each other, he's gonna do whatever he needs to gather whatever power he needs to like make Battle World and like make himself all powerful and everything. And then because I know there was also like a rumor that there was gonna be a poster where Doom was gonna be like playing chess, like the chess pieces was gonna be shaped as like the Avengers and Fantastic Four and X-Men and everything. Like he's moving them on a chessboard, which I think would be kind of fire. And I'd definitely grab that poster if I could. But yeah, I'm really interested to see because would that be the beginning of the movie then, or what? Because I feel like this movie got to be like 3 hours long, damn near. I don't know. I'm super excited. I'm hyped as hell to see it though. I think everybody that's like been complaining about it and everything are kind of just like doing it because it's like the cool thing. Take more. I saw someone that said the Odyssey movie. Great, I'm going to see the Odyssey movie. That should look gas too. But I saw someone say the Odyssey movie is going to make more than Avengers Doomsday. Like, bro, what? Like the movie that got the Fantastic Four, X Men, and Avengers and Doctor Doom all in the same movie, like for the first time ever, and it's like classic X-Men characters from the Fox movies and everything. There's just no way. There's just no way this movie's not gonna make a billion. Now I'm not gonna make a big profit. I ain't gonna say that because the movie got to cost like however much, damn near probably a billion to shoot. I don't think it's a billion, but you know what I'm saying. It's gonna be like the budget for it's gonna be crazy, but still, it's gonna make a billion. The Odyssey's gonna be tough too, but I don't know. I think that's cool though. I think I'm excited for that. And I really can't wait to see like what are they gonna do? Because there's just so much like mystery around. And there's so many like scoopers or whatever that's like been reporting different things and everything, like and leaking stuff. You know, like with the AI and everything, you don't even know what's real or what's not. So I just can't wait to actually see what happens in this movie. Cause there's just no way. I can't one of the main things I can't wait to see is like the fight scenes. Cause it has such potential to just have like imagine like when Thanos fought like Doctor Strange and the Guardians and Iron Man and Spider Man and them. Imagine that, but it's like all the Fantastic Four, all the Avengers in X Men, or like combinations of all of them. That'd be so tough. That'd be so tough. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see that. I wonder. You know what I think? I think maybe the movie might start off with the mid credit scene where he like meets up with the Fantastic Four and he's like touching Franklin's face or whatever, or like touching Franklin, or well, not touching Franklin, like meeting Franklin or whatever. Uh, Whereas like, and then like it ends right there. Maybe that's where it picks up off at. Well, maybe that's where it picks. The fuck would you say that? Maybe that's where it. You know what I'm fucking trying to say. That's where it starts at, and then maybe it just goes on from there. And he's like, "Oh, I need your guys' help to da 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 da," and he's like manipulating him or whatever. But yeah, anyway, let's go, you should go to the next thing. Let's see what else we got here. DC Studios, James Gunn responds to report that yo, they really do. Well, it's eyeing 2028 release. When is the Batman Part Two coming out? See something because that got to be like next year, right? The Batman. And the thing is, with James Gunn's Batman movie, even though he's not directing it, with the DCU Batman movie, it needs to be like, oh yeah, 2027. It needs to be like, I don't know. It needs to be like you don't want him to look like, you don't want him to be like, oh, this is like kind of like the lame Batman, like the secondary Batman. If the Matt Reeves, what's his name? What's the nigga name that played Edward? What's his name? Robert Pattinson. Yeah, what's Robert Pattinson Batman? Is going to be like if that movie is gas. Like the first movie was really good too. Like I think it's like the second best Batman movie I'd say. But if that one was like the like say that's the best Batman movie we got so far, you're gonna have like crazy high expectations for this one, and then also might confuse people that don't really like aren't super tapped in. And then it's also like I don't know, you're gonna have to make it so different to where it's like okay, these are basically very two different Batman from two different universes, and you can easily tell. But you also got to make this Batman like you don't want him to be like second fiddle Batman. You don't want him to be like you know what I mean. You don't want him to be like diet Batman in a way or like off-brand Batman. Like you don't want like the Matt Reeves Batman to be you don't want like Matt Reeves Batman to be goddamn Dr. Pepper and then this nigga to be Dr. Thunder. You don't want that to be you don't want that to be the case. So you kinda have to like do something crazy with him, I would say. All right, but let's get into this story. DC Studios CEO James Gunn has responded to a recent rumor that the Batman Brave and the Bold scripts being complete ahead of 2028 is possible, or ahead of a possible 2028 release for the long delayed DCU movie. It's been nearly 3 years since DC Studios announced its Chapter One God the Monsters slate as, and I feel like there's like been like multiple projects that just got knocked off of that. But anyway, James Gunn and Peter Safran still haven't found the DCU's Batman. Following multiple delays, Matt Reeves' The Batman Part 2 is finally taking shape. Will begin shooting a few months from now. However, that's an Elseworld project and won't be connected to the movies like Superman or Clayface. I still don't know why we're doing a Clayface movie. Like, if you wanted to make a Clayface movie and put it straight on, like, HBO Max, and it's like a HBO Max movie, kinda like a Netflix movies, I could see it, but it's just like, I gotta watch Clayface to know what's about to happen next with Batman. I don't know. You know Batman gotta show up in this movie because I don't know. Anyway, Gunn has repeatedly said that he struggled to figure out what the DC Dark Knights will look like, something which surely hasn't been helped with which well, goddamn, something which surely hasn't been helped by having Reeves' critically acclaimed franchise to compete with. For now, Enemy Shieri remains attached to the direct The Batman and Brave and the Bold from script by an unnamed writer. Now, if you haven't seen, let me make sure it's streaming good and everything still. Okay. Bam, okay, we straight. Now if you haven't seen The Flash Part 2. Oh no, if you haven't seen well, yeah, if you haven't seen the Flash movie, that shit was ass. That shit was ass. And Andy Muschietti directed it. And but I will say that Batman parts in that were kind of cool. But also he just got done directing Welcome to Derry, and that show was fire. Way better. Like this season of Welcome to Derry was way better than the final season of Stranger Things. But if he's I don't feel like I feel like the design for him should be pretty easy. But there's like the newest Batman design. Hold on. He has a new design. Let me see. New Batman design. Where he's like 2025. Yeah, this needs to be this nigga's design right here. Can y'all see that? Hold on. This needs to be his design. Where it's like blue and gray, but it's not like Adam West. You know what I mean? It needs to look like this. I think that's super tough. You can kind of make it. Don't make it cloth because I always never liked when it was cloth. Make it kind of like maybe a little bit similar to Ben Affleck's bat suit, but a little bit more armored, kind of like the Robert Pattinson one. But I think he needs to look something like this. Maybe a bit of a darker blue, maybe. But I like the idea of like a blue and gray. I feel like he would contrast good with like Superman's like brighter blue and red and yellow. And they were like standing next to each other and stuff. I think that'd be good. And then we need to get a good Robin suit. And I think they need to whoever designed the Robin suit from Titans, the show, that's something else they need to do. Because I know Damien's gonna be in this movie, or one of the Robins is gonna be in Robin Titans. Because this suit is pretty gas. If you ask me, the Titan show is really fucking weird. But the suit that they got for him, like, who is this nigga? Who is who is this? Hold on, who is this nigga right here? Oh, I'll block it. Hold on, who is this nigga? I don't know. Sidetrack anyway. But uh, where's a good look at it? Boom. Here we go. Click on this. That's not what I wanted to see. What's a good one? Okay. His 9-week suit was tough too, though. Let's see. Let me just it's about live action suit. Be a little bit more specific. Boom, here we go. Can I see the fucking okay, here we go. Like this, it's pretty tough, I think. A little bit padded a lot, but you know, he's like older here. This is Dick Grayson. Something like this, a little bit different, like you know, in a newer bit of a brighter style, I think it'd be perfect for Damien. I think that's what you need to go with. If they want to make him look because he needs to be like so different that it's like you won't even mistake one for the other. Like there should be no confusion about which Batman I'm watching and which connects to what and what. Anyway, it's saying yeah, he struggled to find a look. Earlier today, an exciting update surfaced online, courtesy of Dread Central. Hearing the screenplay is finished for Andy Muschietti's new Batman film, The Brave and the Bold, and that Warner Brothers is looking at 2028 release. It didn't take DC Studios co-CEO James Gunn long to debunk it though, as he took to threads to respond. Fiction stars, screenplays, and finish. It's always interesting to see. Wait, it's always interesting. It's always interesting to see what the Man of Tomorrow Helmer does and doesn't weigh in on. For example, while he's remained silent on those Wonder Woman rumors, he did respond to a fan who asked about reports that the Batman Part 2 had a test screening last year. Seriously, that would be strange since the movie hasn't even started production. Okay. Well, it's hard to fault DC Studios for taking its time to do right by DCU's Batman. Fans growing increasingly frustrated is understandable. It surely shouldn't be this hard to tell the Kid Crusader story, and at this rate, a Wonder Woman movie I read before, which I don't think that's too bad of an idea. A Wonder Woman movie. I think you kind of need to rebuild Wonder Woman's um like stock because in the last movie, Wonder Woman, the first the first Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot or whatever, Gal Gadot, whatever how you ever say her name, was tough. Was super tough. Um But the second one, like it was just like so different, and it's like she lost to Win at the end of the movie, and then she gets this whole suit where it has wings on it, but then she loses the wings like immediately. Like, the suit gets torn up like as soon as she gets it. Then she learns how to fly without the wings. It was just, I don't know. It's been a minute since I've seen it, so I don't really remember. I do remember it was ass though. It was not good. I do remember that. It was not good. But I think they kind of. I wouldn't mind seeing Wonder Woman. Um, I wouldn't mind seeing Wonder Woman like be first and have Batman be the third one to come out. But if they do make a Wonder Woman, what I need them to do is I need them Twitter. I need them to let me see. It was a tweet that perfectly Wonder Woman DC. Wonder Woman DC. Oh, oh what the fuck? DCU. I need her to be moving like this. Let me see if I can find it. Like this. I need her to be suplexing those. I need her to be I need her to be like I need she need to fight like Rhea Ripley. You need to be coming through, hitting those with drop kicks, elbows, sweet chin music. Look at this. Let me chill for niggas try to cancel me or try to like if you had German suplexes. I need all that power bombs, all that. I need her to move like that because like that's just so that's what Wonder Woman needs to fight like. Like Wonder Woman likes to fight. She's kind of like Thor for DC, but she's like a woman. That's kind of how it needs to be. I want her to be like to fight. I want her to fight like that. And like the Wonder Woman's action shouldn't be like Wonder Woman should be action filled. It shouldn't be like whatever they were trying to do with the 1984 Wonder Woman or whatever we called. It needs to be something like that. So I wouldn't mind seeing that. I don't know what story you're going to tell Wonder Woman because her comics like history is kind of weird. So I don't really know what like most of her to me most of the stories I know about her is from when she was in the Justice League and stuff like that. So I'm not really too familiar about her like solo comic work. I think they could do something. I kind of like the idea. If you ever seen Justice League Unlimited, the show, I kind of like the idea where like Hades was her dad or whatever secretly, and like they could kind of emulate some stuff from Absolute Wonder Woman because isn't she from Hell too? I haven't gotten to that yet, but something like that. I think they could kind of mix up in some way and have people like mess with Wonder Woman again because the last movie was not it. Maybe we can actually get some more like video games, animated shows, something. Wonder Woman needs something. This is that's like I feel like Wonder Woman shouldn't have to be argued to be on the Mount Rushmore of superheroes, but to me, it's like I don't know if she is. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to raise her stock up. Let's see what else we got to talk about. Let's move on. Avengers Doomsday. Oh, I saw this. I'm about to find a tweet. I might have bookmarked it, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk because it's basically like because the Doomsday Clock, like the timestamps from each teaser trailer that like it starts with, it's like a plays from a scene from Infinity War or Endgame or something like that, and it's like special lines, certain lines of the characters. Like, I don't know. I think niggas is diving in a little bit too deep into that. But moving on, let's see, kind of a little bit Game of Thrones ish type topic. Sophie Turner is gonna be playing Laura Croft, and she's supposed to be we're now from Tomb Raider. Now, I don't know. I think this design looks good if you ask me. Like, I don't know if I don't know if like this is bad or good. Well, actually, I do. Well, look, niggas already commented they don't like it, but I think so. I don't really know that much about Laura Croft, but from what I understand, or from what I always knew about her, she was just like if Indiana Jones was Angelina Jolie. That's basically what I know about Laura Croft. But I think she looks good as Laura Croft. Like I think she looks good. Um, and I know there's probably some niggas that think like she doesn't look. There's probably some gooner type niggas that don't think she doesn't look like because original Laura Croft wasn't she made to like make like get little boys into like hooked on gaming or some shit. Original because she had like them Sydney Sweeney's, and them heavies. Original Laura Crofts because she was designed a certain way. Yeah, and wasn't there like a secret thing where you could like see her neck or something if you put it in you know what I'm saying? Like she looked a certain way in her first little PS1, however she looked. And there was a Tomb Raider movie not too long ago. See, the only thing I ever knew about Laura Croft was like, Angelina Jolie. And then I saw this movie, which was okay. But I guess that wasn't good enough for anything else to happen. But I think she looks I think what's her name? Sophie Turner? Sophie Turner bad, if you ask me. Sophie Turner bad. So if niggas are complaining about the way she looks, you're crazy. Sophie Turner bad. And I think she played a great Laura Croft. She does not change her accent, nothing like that either. It's on Prime Video? This come on Prime Video? I'll have to look at it later. But I think she'd be a great Laura Croft. Yeah, I mean, she gets to look for it. I mean, is Laura Croft a Reddit? I think she's like brunette, maybe. I don't even think it really matters. She look good as Laura Croft to me. I might say it just because she's in it, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So, and yeah, I haven't really seen like I haven't played none of the games. I know that there was like a reboot one for PlayStation not too long ago. That was supposed to be pretty good, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. She's basically female Indiana Jones slash Nathan Drake, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe if y'all y'all know something about Laura Croft that I don't, she's like really like that. But I'll see it because I'm a fan of Game of Thrones. I'm a fan of her when she was Jean in the X-Men movies. So let's get into this article. Let's see. Okay, Amazon MGM Studio has shared their official first. Okay, so this is on Amazon, so it's probably gonna go straight to Amazon. Oh, it's a TV series. Oh, I thought it was gonna be a movie. A TV series would probably making some tough TV shows. So I actually will tune in. Amazon MGM they shared their first look at Sophie Turner suited up as Laura Croft in Prime Video's Tomb Raider TV series, and costume designs stick closely to the games. I mean, it's not like it's that hard to like. She got like what a tank top and some cargo shorts with the it's like some gun strap. I don't even. I feel like it's not that crazy of a design. You got to stick faithful to. Has announced okay. They've announced that the production is officially underway on its upcoming Tomb Raider TV series. I like that. Amazon is putting like a lot of games into shows and stuff. They're making like they're adapting a lot of video game stuff. Like they got the God of War show that's coming. They already have Fallout, and then they're getting this, which I kind of fuck with because we don't like. I wish they would have got Halo. Oh my god, this is about to be a side. The Halo show. It started off so good, like with the action scene that they start off with, and this nigga Master Chief takes his helmet off at the end of the first episode, and then like it's just bro, that show was so dumb, so dumb. So dumb. And then they said that the nigga who was like playing as him or whatever was like, well, you're not gonna be able to see, like the emotion or anything or acting when he has the helmet on. So now, what do you mean? What do you mean? Think y'all didn't watch The Mandalorian and Grogu? Y'all didn't watch y'all didn't play Halo, nigga? What like I don't understand how they could do that. Anyway, that's just a sidetrack. I can't believe they did that to Halo. I can't believe they did that to the Halo show. That show should have been because it looked good. It looked like the way everything looked was great after the second episode, I was like, this nigga took his helmet off and is wearing on this little girl who's a little. Anyway, um, okay, but let's get back to the story. As we first reported on Game Fragger, you gotta be careful when you say that one. I don't know what the, I don't know I don't know where that name come from, but Amazon MGM Studios announced that blah blah officially underway with Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones, Laura Croft, yada yada. We're sure you'll immediately notice the show sticking very closely to how the character appeared in the original PlayStation video game, right down to her glasses and the color of her tank top. Fans often demand accuracy, and while that's always risky comparison to cosplay, there's no denying that Turner looks the part. Whether the character will look, yeah, Fragger. I'm like, bro, what? Uh, I was like, a game frag. Like, I guess it means like like frag in a game, but like I don't know, they could have. Uh-huh. Whether the character's look will evolve over the course of the series or is remain to be seen. Let's expect the costume design more in line with what was used in 2018. Yeah, movie starring Alicia Vikander. Yeah, okay. I can't say much about the preparation. Began in February. I've been training for a long time now. Coming up on a year, and we're going to start shooting in January. I'm really excited. So I haven't started shooting yet. So we're probably not going to see this till like 2028 ish too, or late 2027 at the earliest. But I feel prepped, and I feel really lucky to have such a great relationship with Amazon. I'm excited for the world to see what we do with Laura and Tomb Raider. She had, I think it's going to be something special. Prime Video's Tomb Raider series is based on the comic. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, it's based on comics. Oh, the iconic. Okay. Tomb Raider game. Oh, yeah. Okay. The project stars as Laura Croft. Sophie Turner. Sigourney Weaver. Uh, I just watched Avatar. Well, I just watched the newest two Avatar movies, and Sigourney Weaver plays like one of the kids from the like one of the like like Navi kids or whatever. I don't know why they couldn't have tried to like AI something her voice to make it sound like she wasn't like a 70-year-old woman in this little kid's body. But that's all I thought about. Like I don't know if she's tried to act him, but she just has a very old woman voice, like an old mature woman voice. And she sounds very much like I don't know. That was just that was just funny to me. Mother, like I don't know, I don't know. That's what, like I don't know. It was just funny. I was like, bro, she does not sound like she's supposed to be like 16 or however old she's supposed to be. But the series is executive produced by Amazon. Yada yada. Okay, check the first look and yada yada. Okay, cool. I'm excited for this actually because I think Amazon's been on a roll with their show so far. So I think so. And they got a good actor with Sophie Turner in it, and she looked the part. And yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I don't even know nothing about Tomb Raider. I thought it was gonna be a movie. As a series, it could be pretty interesting. I wonder, what they could do something interesting if they're getting all like the PlayStation game characters. They could do something where they had like maybe like an Uncharted show, and then I don't know if they have the rights to that, but if they have an Uncharted show, and they could maybe have them like come together. I'm surprised that's never been done before. Have them because I feel like there's no reason why they couldn't be in the same universe, right? There's like I don't feel like there's nothing too crazy about either of them. Maybe I'm tripping, but I think they could that'd be something fun they could do too. My mouth doesn't line up with the audio. It might be on the it might be on the shorts feed. I don't know if you're watching the short stream or the mainstream. That might be the short stream. Let me look at the thing. That might be the case. Let me see if I can change something real quick. Let me see. It'd be on the. Oh yeah, it's true. It's tripping. Oh, that's a lot too. Let's see if I can fix that in the settings real quick. Do 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 do. Bam. It needs to be. What is that? Need to be. Bam. The fuck? Oh, okay. I don't know if that helped, but maybe it did. Let me see. Yada 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 yada. The fuck? Oh, okay. I don't know if that helped, but maybe it did. Let me see. Yada 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 yada. Okay, I don't know. I'll try to like see maybe refresh. I don't, I don't know. Let me see. I don't know how I can fix that right now. I changed the bit rate, so maybe that'll help. I don't have to fix it. Yeah, I changed the bit rate. Maybe that'll help. I don't know. It might be the shorts thing. I don't really know. But hopefully it fixes itself or something. I don't know. The fuck? But it might just be the short stream. So, but yeah, let's go to see if we got any other stories I want to talk about. But whoa, maybe it did. Let me see. Camera myself twice. Okay. I'm gonna try to fix that later. Let's see how. I think it should be good now. If it's still not good, because it says this, because before it did say the stream health was good, and I was saying excellent for that one. So maybe it's fixed now. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You have to let me know. Let's see. What else I want to talk about? Oh wait, where is that at? Okay, here we go. So this is kind of interesting. So the Amazon, so like I said, Amazon been making a bunch of you know, kind of video game series based off like from the PlayStation like catalog of things. Isn't Crash Bandicoot getting a movie too? I'm pretty sure. Is that by Crash? It's gonna be like Mario's, or not Mario. Well, maybe Mario style. Is either Mario or Sonic style, which I'm definitely seeing that shit because. Oh, well, I just looked it up and said there's no. I thought I saw something about that. Anyway, okay. But so if you, I don't know if you played God of War Ragnarok. I kind of played it when I was at like my uncle's house. Like I beat the last boss for him. If I ever played the game, but God of War, Ragnarok, and then God of War, the like the reboot, whatever. So they're gonna basically make a live action Amazon Prime series about that, like that those two series of games. I'm pretty sure. And we have who's gonna be playing Kratos, and it's actually kind of interesting because the dude who's playing Kratos is the dude who was playing Thor in the second movie, I guess, or second movie in the second game and kind of the first game. He's this is the dude who played Thor. Also, this is the nigga from this is the dude from freaking Remember the Titans. That was crazy to me when I saw that. I was like, wait, what? This is a dude from Remember the Titans. He's like the main white dude. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he's the main white dude. Remember the Titans. It's the main white dude. Where is he? This dude? I don't want to play this because I know they might take this. This dude, this thing right here, the dude on the right. It's him. That's that's him. That's crazy. I was like, wait, what? That's crazy to me. That's so crazy. It's like that was just so like just blew my mind. Like that nigga's Thor and now he's Kratos. But what's the name? Ryan Hurst. So he's gonna be playing um Thor, or no, he's gonna be playing Kratos. Because I guess basically they're trying to. Because one thing that's kind of weird for me about the God of War games, because in the old God of War games, when he didn't have the beard and everything, he was like thinner or leaner, I guess. He kind of had like Egyptian looking features. Like, let's see, let me see. I guess young Kratos, and his voice actor was black also. Yeah, I guess he does show up in the new game, right? They made him look a little bit more, made him look a little bit more like rugged looking in this one. But in the OG game, he had more like a maybe it was just like the design, but like style back then. But he had more of like a hold on, he had more of like a I don't know how to describe it, but you know what I mean. He has more of like an angular, like he doesn't look like Triple H. You know what I mean? He doesn't look like Triple H. Hold on, bald Triple H. He didn't look like Triple H, so I guess they're trying to go for the Triple H look. You know, I need Fox News. Yeah, you're trying to go for like the Triple H look, I guess. Like the old, the old this. I guess that's what they're trying to go for, but still buff, I guess. But I don't know. So I'm like, because the dude who voices Kratos said he wanted to play him, but he is like very, very like uh Polynesian looking, I guess. Like he looks like he's very Samoan, I guess. So maybe they just want him to go for more like a Greek white looking, you know what I'm saying? Norse looking type of nigga, I guess, to be Thor or to be Kratos. But let's see, let's get into this article. Oh, we got another one from Game Frogger. From Game Frogger. Y'all need to change that, bro. That's a little. I don't know. I don't know. That's funny though. But as we first reported, Sony Pictures Television and Amazon MGM Studios have confirmed that Ryan Hurst will play Kratos in Prime Video's upcoming God of War TV series. The actor is no stranger to the franchise as he portrayed Thor in PlayStation's God of War Ragnarok. That means he'll bring an established familiarity with his epic tale to role as Kratos. I think he has the voice for it for sure. After previously being nominated for a BAFTA award for his performance as God of Thunder. Okay. Hurst recently wrapped shooting Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Oh, he's in The Odyssey too. Shout out to my nigga from Remember the Titans. Opposite Matt Damon and Tom Holland, he perhaps best known for his work on the Fox TV smash hit Sons of Anarchy. No, I know him from Remember the Titans. The actor also recently starred in Disney Plus TV shows Mysterious Benedict Society and voiced Lobo in 2020's Superman Man of Tomorrow. In the game, Kratos is really voiced by T.C. Carl's. Oh, isn't Terrence? Why do you say T.C.? Isn't it just Terrence Carson? Before Christopher Judge took over the role, the titular character of the entire franchise, Kratos, is a Spartan. Okay, we already know about Kratos. Based on the video game, God of War follows the son following the son. Who's gonna play Atreus? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know too. I guess they could kind of get the kid to play him. I don't think he's too old to play him. Maybe he's on. How do you feel about him playing Kratos? I think. I don't know. I feel like if I was the dude who voiced him, I would feel kind of a way that the dude who voiced Thor got to play the nigga who I'm. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe he was just a better actor, like more. Maybe he's just a better physical. But he was doing the mocap and stuff too. I don't know. Maybe I just feel like if I was the dude who voiced him, I might feel a certain type of way that that Thor dude took my job. Wookie. Like if you're gonna get anybody from the game to play Kratos, it should be me, nigga, because I was Kratos. That's how I would feel. You know, you play like 1/3 of the first game. I didn't realize there were two. I switched. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. I don't know. The first the first. I don't think I played that much of the first like new one, but I played some of the second one, which I thought would look fun. Like I could get it from like my PC or whatever, but I thought about maybe doing that, but I don't know. The story, like I just watched YouTube of somebody play it, and it was basically just like a movie like that. But I don't know. I wonder how they're gonna do this because it's like that's kind of like the end of his story, kind of in a way, Kratos. And also, they're still making a third game, so you don't want to like catch up too quick to a third game, right? Hmm. I don't know, but like I said, I think it is pretty dope that Amazon's making a lot of um, video game, like adaptations, like they are, because it's like that Fallout, God of War, Tomb Raider. They could do Crash Bandicoot if they wanted to. I'm just saying. You could have your Sonic type of franchise. Although I don't really know if Crash has the same fan base as Sonic, but I would watch that nigga. I'll be there, Crash. I'll be there. I'll be there for Crash Bandicoot. God damn it. But let's see what else we got. What else we got? I don't think there's gonna be too many more news stories. I talked about this in a short. Basically, just Midnight Suns roster was like they basically just said in the Midnight Suns team basically gonna be like Blade, Moon Knight, Ghost Rider, Elsa Bloodstone, Werewolf by Night, Wong maybe, um, the werewolf nigga, and then Man Thing. And yeah, what else we got? Isn't that it? Let's see. I think that's pretty much. I think that's it for the news. I think that's it for news. Refresh. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's it for the news section. But I do got some stuff I wanted to react to. Let me check and see if that fixed the if I fixed the whatchamacallit, the short stream. I'm still doing that shit. Okay. But I don't know how I fix that though. I think it's the bitrate, but I fixed the bitrate. I don't know. Maybe I have to refresh the stream, which I think I could do since it's only the live. Is there a way I can refresh it without? Let's see. So in all your streams using this key, you will need to update your streaming software. Okay. I wonder if there's a way I could do that. If I could refresh the stream in here. Well, if I end this part of the stream, I think it would work. If I end this part and then stream again, it should still be the same because I have the same stream key. Let me try to see if that works. Because I'm still live on the main one, so I'll just end the shorts one and start up again. See if that works. See if that do the trick. Part and then stream again. It should still be the same because I have the same stream key. Let me try to see if that works. Start up again. See if that works. See if that do the trick. I think it might have. Let me see. Refresh. Yep. Stream again. It should still be the same because I have the same stream key. Let me try to see if that works. Start up again. See if that works. Start hearing like trick. I think it might have. Let me see. I think it is. I think it's working. Yeah, I think we're good now. I think. It's like the delay, so it's a little bit hard for me to tell. I'm hearing like three myself and myself. Yeah, I think we're good. At least on my phone, with on my phone, I'm looking at it. It looks fine. Okay, whatever. Let's get back to it. Oh yeah, I wanted to react to stuff. So the Scream, hold on. The Scream 7 movie trailer, or not trailer, it was like a TV spot had dropped. I wanted to react to this because I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. Now I know there's a lot of controversies. Well, I guess controversy around, controversy around this movie because if you don't know, um, basically the two stars of the last two Scream movies that came out are not in this movie because, well, one kind of got fired because she said, I don't know if she said free Palestine or if she said something, or she said like stop the wars or something like that. And then they let her go because she was saying, because they said she was saying some anti-Semitic stuff. But really, what it was is after each movie, the actor, like every each sequel that an actor is in, they keep having, they have to increase their pay for the returning role or whatever, and they didn't want to keep paying her. And then there's actually a lot of drama between for this seventh Scream movie. So first, in the last movie, they didn't want to pay Sydney, the main, whoever played the girl who plays Sydney, they didn't want to pay her because they didn't think that they needed her. They didn't want to pay her. Uh and hold on. They want to pay her, so or they didn't want to pay her what basically what she was worth. They're trying to pay her like not like they're trying to basically like shortchange her, and it's like, nigga, without this, like, nigga, I made this whole thing, you know what I mean? Which I feel her because she was in every single movie and she's been the star of at least five of them. So it's like, pay her. You know what I'm saying? Like pay like and it's like a respect thing. Like pay the person who like paved the way for who for the franchise. You know what I mean? So it's like it's that. And then it's also another thing that happened, like I said, the whole uh like free Palestine thing that the main girl Melissa Barrera had said, where she really wasn't even nothing, it wasn't even nothing crazy like she said. I think I don't know if she said free Palestine or she maybe let me stop saying that before they try to try to clip my shit. But I don't think it was just that she said, or if she even said that specifically. But I think she just said stop the wars that's going on over there. Basically, just like wars are bad, basically. And they're like, oh, let's get you out of here. We got an excuse now. And then also, Jenna Ortega also wasn't going to come back, just in general, I think. But then she really wasn't going to come back after they saw that she did her dirty, apparently. So then it's like a lot of people were like, "Well, we're not going to go see this movie because yada yada, whatever." But then there was like, then the niggas at the studio was like, "Oh well, let's get Sydney back. So now we can actually pay her what she wanted to get paid, and also we're going to bring Stu back from the first movie, and then a couple of other side characters that are in the other movies." So I'm like, ugh. I mean, I'm still going to see it. I'm still going to see the movie because nigga, I'm just a Scream fan, and I'm gonna see it. I'm gonna see it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna see that shit. I don't care. Yeah, for real, chill. Oh, let me stop saying that shit. Um, so yeah, I'm also on the screen. My fault. I just realized there's three niggas. Three of me. But so I don't know. I'm gonna still see it. Hopefully, it's good because I don't know if it's a hot take or not. To me, to me, to me, there is no bad Scream movie. Not even Scream 3. Nigga, there's not a Scream movie that I do not like. I do not think there's any bad. I think Scream, bare minimum, you can say has the best overall like franchise quality movie wise of all the big horror franchises. But to me, I don't think they have a miss. Same thing with like Spider-Man. I don't think there's I don't think there's a bad Spider-Man movie. Nigga, Spider-Man 3, Amazing Spider-Man 2. I liked them just when I was in the theater, nigga. I was locked in. I liked them. Um, it's same with all the other ones. Hey, nigga, that's just good to me. I don't think there's any bad ones where it's like the Fantastic Four with Michael B. Jordan. That shit is bad. That shit was bad. Like I said, 1984 Wonder Woman. That shit was bad. Like there's some bad superhero movies. Those ones aren't there. X-Men Dark Phoenix. I didn't rewatch that, but that one ain't really it either. The X-Men Dark Phoenix Force when they try to do it again wasn't good. Anyway, but yeah, that's my thing. But I think I'm still gonna see it because it's Scream. It's like my favorite horror franchise. It's Scream. Like Ghostface is like my favorite. Well, I don't know if he's my favorite slasher, but because he's not really just one person, he's kind of just like an identity, I guess. So I guess that would be Jason and Michael Myers. But then just the Ghostface like persona is just so cool to me. It's just cool. It's like the meta thing. Anyway, let's get into the trailer. It's only 34 seconds long, so you gotta watch it.
Hello?
Do you like scary movies?
Yes, yes, I do.
Surprise,
I think it's cool that they
Sydney.
bring him back too because he got a TV dropped on his head, but like that wouldn't kill him
For a long
for real.
time. Your daughter is the same age you were when this all started.
You would think she would
Hurt her until you're here to see.
It's too loud also. I don't think it's loud. But you would think that she would
This is gonna be fun.
I like that. They bring it back to me. Or yeah, Stu. February 20th. That's kind of around the corner. I can't wait. I can't wait. And it's an IMAX? Yes, sir. I won't be seeing it. But you would think that she would like like train her dog. Like Laurie Strode, like say what you want about Halloween, the last few Halloween movies. Laurie Strode, she had them niggas ready to fight Michael Myers. They just didn't believe her. Like, you would think Sydney, because Sydney's dealt with it like so many times too. The thing why I mess with Sydney's my favorite like horror final girl survivor because she be laying the ghost face. She be killing them niggas. She don't give a fuck. She be killing the head tapping them too. She's like not dumb at all. That's why I like her. She's never a dumb character. Like after the first movie, she wasn't going for no bullshit. But you would think she would like train her, and her dad's like a police officer. I'm pretty sure because it was the police officer from the third movie that she married, whatever. So you would think that she would know how to like kind of defend herself against the Ghostface nigga. But also, I was like, if I was Sydney, I'll just like, bruh, like, come on, like, bro, I'm like, there's some new, and what happened to them girls that was just in the last movie? Y'all can't go mess with them. I'm like, bruh, like, come on, nigga. I'd be so exhausted. I'm like, bro, at this point, nigga, I don't know, I don't know. But another thing about the Scream movies is like, at a certain point, I would just be like, okay, so every single time it's somebody that I know. So all our friends, this group, we're all staying in this room and we just chilling. Nigga, we gonna stay in this room for however long it take. So one of y'all niggas decide to cop to it or whatever, because I ain't dealing with that shit. But again, Ghostface would just we just have to fight at that point. We would always rock in like a group. And if you ever show up, I don't care if you try to split us up or whatever, we have to jump them. But I think something interesting that they're gonna do in this one that I've been hearing since like the last few before they even all this other controversy stuff, they're gonna do like a cult of Stu, where like he has like these like rabid fans of him because he's like the real life person because they have the movie of what happened in the movie in the movie in the movie. So it's like they kind of like idolize him like kind of crazy because they have like cult fan base type about the slash movies inside the Scream movies or whatever. And they're like he's in jail or whatever, and they kind of like he break him out or like when he gets out, they're like willing to do whatever for him, and they kind of like make him spiral back into like trying to kill Sydney or whatever. I think that'd be cool because it got to be more than one dude, and it got to be like because the last movie there was three Ghostface. In the last movie, I will say was really cool. You got to see two ghost faces on screen at the same time because usually you don't. Because in the other movies, when it's ever is more than one, you only see the one because the other one's like not being in the costume at the time because he's trying to be like to throw people off, whatever they're trying to do. But that was cool. I like that in the second one or the last one where there's two Ghostface and they were both killing somebody. That was tough. So I think in this one, well, they're just like there's five niggas as Ghostface. Fuck it. Like I think that's something that'd be cool to do because I do think they kind of need to switch up the formula of the Scream movies where it's like we know because the whole thing is like it's a who done it, but let's say we know who did it, but you got to catch the nigga who did it. You know what I mean? That's what I think there should be. And there's also other people you don't know. Da, 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 da. I think that'd be tough. But I will say the whole like, oh, I'm going after your daughter now is a little bit cliche because like, yeah, because they kind of already did that when they were kind of doing like her cousin, which was actually Ghostface, whatever. I don't know. I'm still gonna see this. Hopefully, it's good. That's all I can hope for. Even with all the stuff that's been going on behind the scenes with it, I just hope it's good because it's Scream, bro. It's Scream. It's Scream. Like, come on. So that was the first. That was the first little reaction I wanted to do. But now we got some little bit longer ones. So this is. I don't know if you guys ever seen this channel. He's called the Sensible Sane. So basically, what he does on his channel, we can go look at it. Shout out to him for sure. Basically, what he does on his channel. I had to watch this like a while ago. I'm subscribed to him on my other channel. I'm just like, no, I'm subscribed again right now. I'm subscribed to him on my other channel. I'm like one where I watch videos on and stuff. But basically, what he does is he like breaks down mainly Dragon Ball fights, like they're like UFC fights, which is super dope. Like he really goes in like analyzing and like breaking down. It's actually like you can tell that they actually took time to the choreography of what happened based on what because he really does break it down. He has a bunch of them. Like he has stuff like like he has like OG Dragon Ball stuff, which is what we're about to watch, Tien versus Kid Goku. But he has Yamcha versus or not Yamcha. He has Trunks versus Tien. Who has the best fight record? Kid Buu versus Goku is another one of these ones on there. Someone there. Yamcha versus Tien. Cell versus Goku. Cell versus Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. Gohan versus Deborah. Vegeta fighting on uh Namek with Zarbon. He has one where Vegeta saw Namek fighting something. What was he fighting? He has so many. He has so like they're all tough. They're really good. So we're gonna watch the one with I think it's during the second to last tournament in OG Dragon Ball. Oh, what's up, Punisher? What's up, Punisher? I don't think are you Punisher or are you your ex Punisher? Because that's you listen like you're biting Batman's lines. I ain't gonna lie to you.
We got that reggaeton. Today we're gonna be
All right, but we're gonna be reacting to.
Today we're going to be covering
Oh, shout out to thank you for joining the chat though. By the way,
final match.
we're gonna be damn, it's shit loud. But we're gonna be reacting to like Goku versus Tien. I think this is the second to last tournament in OG Dragon Ball. I think this is the one where he uses the Tri Beam for the first time. So let's go ahead and check this out. But shout out to Sensible Saiyan. His video is awesome. So go ahead and watch this. So boom.
For the 22nd Budokai Tenkaichi, Goku versus Tien. Just like the last video we covered, this is a true 50-50
I love
fight.
OG Dragon
Both
Ball,
guys are
by the
coming
way.
into this one looking almost unstoppable. Goku's coming off of 2 jaw-dropping performances, and Tien has wins over not only Goku's teammate
Bro,
Yamcha.
Tien did Yamcha so dirty. Oh, he did him so dirty. He did
but also
Yamcha
the
so
previous
dirty,
tournament
bro.
winner Jackie Chun, which if we're talking about resumes, has got to be like the best win anybody's had.
No, this isn't the second to last one. Well, yeah, I guess it is the second to last one. This is the first time they fought each other.
Point of the series. There's also the Turtle School versus Crane School dynamic to it, and the revenge aspect. So this one, there's just a lot on the line. The two are squaring up as we break this fight down and score it with the 10-point must system. This fight is scheduled for 5 rounds. At the end of each round, the winner gets 10 points, and the loser gets 9 points or less, depending on how badly they lost. If it goes all 5, the scores get tallied, and the fighter with more points wins. But the fight can end in any round via stoppage. Okay, let's get right into it. Sound the bell. Round 1. Let's go. The round starts off with Goku rushing his opponent.
This is a great fight
too.
too.
With the back chop, but he doesn't budge. Now the young Saiyan's momentum is stifled. Tien shifts his stance back to throw the rear kick on a static opponent, but whoop! Goku dodges midair and wraps the tail around the leg to swing around and land a nasty body shot. This combo is his go-to when he's fighting a tall opponent. He does almost the exact same thing later when he fights Demon King Piccolo. Catches him off guard too, although he did manage to counter.
Like you see what I'm saying? Like he breaks down like Goku has like similar moves that he busts out and everything. I think that's really cool. Like he does in his editing and stuff like that. It's fire, dude. Shout out to this dude, Sensible Saiyan.
A shot sent Tien flying, but he recomposes and takes to the sky. Goku being really aggressive here, tries to hit the flying sidekick, but eat that Dodon wave. Beautiful counter here that drops his opponent. Really bad move by Goku following up in the sky like that, where Tien has the huge advantage. And telegraphing the shot
Dodon
too.
Ray!
That was easy money. But he gets up easily and darts back in, this time vanishing by darting at lightning speeds. Just like what he did to beat Krillin in his last fight.
They really,
again,
I would have really loved it if they did like a Hunter. I don't care about Avengers Doomsday, just give us the MCU X-Men. Just give us Kitty Pryde, give us Fant, give us Rachel Summers, give us Monet says, give us Mystique. I think for based on what you're saying, I think the MCU should take heavy inspiration for their X-Men team from if you ever seen the X-Men Evolution show. I think that's something they should go with. If Kitty Pryde was on that team, I think that's kind of the dynamic they should try to have a bit of a younger team, like a couple mentor older X-Men. I think that'd be fire. I think that's something they should definitely do. But back to what I was saying, I would love it if they did a reanimation like Hunter x Hunter style of OG Dragon Ball, or like they had in the Dragon Ball. What was the movie? It was called Superhero movie with Gohan and Cell Max and everything. Because they showed like an animation style of like OG Dragon Ball with Goku fighting the Red Ribbon Army. In that type of, that would be would just print money. I don't know why they don't do it. They would just print money. Like I'll be watching that week to week. I don't care. Like, and then like kind of cut out certain things, filler types. I'd be so tough if they did that. A Hunter x Hunter style reanimation of OG Dragon Ball. Like they would just print money, especially if you don't have an ongoing Dragon Ball series right now. Just print money. If you did that in like the Dragon Ball Daima animation, even, bruh. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. Just do it. Just make it. That'd be so tough. Not that this animation looks bad. It still holds up to me. It still looks has like a nice retro feel to it. But still, anyway, let's get back to it.
Bad move. He saw Tien's match against Jackie Chun that optical illusions are tailor-made for him and his Sharingan to counter, especially since he doesn't have the art of surprise here. Sure enough, he finds him and
I think we're gonna go with you.
Oh, we gotta add.
That's great. Awesome. Let me get the contract.
One last thing. You're SOC 2 compliant.
he's not letting up at all.
He used to
now
be
that
a
he's got him
menace.
hurt.
Tien and
Nasty elbow
Shiatsu used
the
to be a
body,
menace,
pins him
low-key.
to the wall. Now he's absolutely teeing off on him with a truly disgusting combo. Goku's getting lit up like a Christmas tree here. Tien, done seasoning him, winds up a massive axe handle that bounces Goku off the floor. Then he picks him up, just has him looking like roadkill. Me personally, I'd throw him in the trash right now and just take the win by ring out. But Tien's gonna do a really bizarre move called the volleyball technique. To this day, I do not know why he went Diddy mode here, bro. You are not Hisoka. As the name suggests, he's just treating him like a volleyball before finishing off the combo with a massive spike that drops his opponent for the 3rd time this round. Everybody thinks Goku is cooked, but in truth,
the audience, like, bro, the crowd for the Budokai Tenkaichis, or the whatever you call it, yeah, the Budokai Tenkaichi, like, tournaments, that shit had to be, like, they didn't care if they died. That's how live that shit was. Look how, like, they were just seeing their most epic stuff ever. I don't even know, were they paying for these seats? Like, was there a price for admission? Because imagine seeing this for free. It'd be crazy. And it's like once a year too. I don't think they were televising it at this point, because they were televising it when like Hercule was doing it and stuff. I'm pretty sure. Like that's something you just had to be there for, I'm sure. And then you see Goku and Tien, that shit was great. Like that's like I couldn't imagine that. And then like just the fights that you would see. Just crazy. You don't even know who's gonna pull up. They got a dragon, a little old dragon might enter this fucking tournament and fight a 12-year-old. Who knows? Like who knows? Like a fucking mummy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a nigga whose superpower is he smells bad. Like that's the type of shit that be pulling up. That's just so funny to me.
in fashion, he pops back up.
I just
still
imagine
very
this
much
is
in the
real.
fight. And he's talking about I'm gonna use my battle strength now. Apparently he was holding back for Tien's safety. Kind of crazy to sandbag in the finals when you know your opponent is elite. But hey, that's that classic Goku arrogance.
Hey, you don't want Goku to know if he's stronger than you, though.
He rushes him again, and Tien is
once Goku and Gohan know that they're stronger than you, they're gonna do the most disrespectful. They're gonna become the most disrespectful characters ever, dog. Goku and Gohan are the most. If they know you're stronger than you, nigga, they gonna start doing the most. So, too much.
caught off guard by the speed, gets clipped with the right hook. Shot to the solar plexus, another right hook, left hook. He's bouncing his head around like a pinball machine before unloading with the body shot flurry. Sidekick sends him flying back, but Goku's not done with this combo yet. Utilizes that small frame like he does so well to cut a unique angle and lands a shot to the spinal. While Tien is launched in the air, Goku starts prepping a Kamehameha, but decides not to fire it off. He already learned from the Dodon Wave exchange earlier in the round that it's probably not a good idea to attack him while he's in the sky. If he dodges, which he very well may, it'd be a big waste of energy. Tien takes a knee. When he stands back up, he's exhilarated to face off against such a worthy opponent, as round 1 comes to a close. And man, I'm scoring the first round a 10-8 for Tien. Let's take a look at the stats.
He was winning
Both
these
guys landed almost all of their shots, but Tien outstruck Goku 2-1, landed a beautiful Ki Blast counter, and dropped him 3 times. Sure, Goku was sandbagging, but that ain't the judge's problem. That's on him. He rallied back really well at the end of the round, though, scoring a knockdown of his own.
Tien hit 99% of his strikes.
In my opinion, even get the 10-9.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I love the way he breaks down. I know it's kind of hard to tell in a short stream. I'm sorry. It's just the way it's cropped out. But I love the way he breaks down the fights. I just love the way he does it because it's like, it's so interesting. I just love the fact that he does that. Okay, my fault. I just love the way they do that. Like he handles that. It's just so tough to me. But like, it is also interesting to see just if they were to like judge the fights, like who was actually winning the fight, and then who like just did some anime shit and just pulled out the win. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's so cool.
Definitely not the best start for Goku, but one of his biggest strengths is his ability to make adjustments. So let's see how he does in the next round. Round 2 starts off with them both coming in aggressively. Goku blocks Tien's right hand and tries to counter with his own, but he catches it. Watch this though, he pins the arm he blocked to bring him off balance so he can land a high kick. Still blocks it though. Tien's gonna do something similar, pushes back on Goku's leg to set up a shot, but he rolls off into a spinning back fist. Block. He tries the other side, but again, unsuccessful. Catches him off guard, almost landing the head kick, spins around to land a tail shot.
I love his editing.
Tien with the
His editing is so
poke
tough.
attempt here, but nope. Head kick attempt here. Tien tries to land the knee on his opponent's way down, but a check. Goku jumps back up, blocks the jab, but gets caught with a spinning elbow to the spinal. Stops the second elbow attempt though. He's occupying him with the hands to catch him off guard with the kick. Tien dodges the first one, but gets caught with the follow-up. Goku blocks the retaliation. Slip and rip palm strike lands for the Saiyan, and lands a leg kick on the way back down. They exchange a bit more. Goku again blocks the knee and lands another leg kick. Tien trying to pressure him, but he's just slippery as hell, lands a body kick. A couple more blocks, and watch this. Tien meets Goku low to trip him and lands a flurry of backwards elbows. Money. The two fighters reset before Tien comes in hot with the right hand. Block. He wants to be aggressive, just overwhelm his opponent with the volume like he's been doing his entire career. But Goku ain't budging. Actually, he's pushing him back steadily. This has got to be demoralizing for Tien. This doesn't happen to him. Now he's really feeling the heat. Goku leaps in with the right hand. Tien blocks it, but he can feel the power through the guard. Dodge, block, block. Goku feints low and double feints with the knee, but comes in with the big left hand that again breaks the guard. This is so reminiscent to me of way back when I covered the rematch in the next tournament. We're seeing Goku have the same kind of success with the hard feints and these heated clashes. The continuity the animators kept is amazing. Tien pushed back to the edge of the ring, blocking these shots with the cross guard. Call him Ken Norton. Season opening for a counter, but whoop! Goku not only on the back foot here, but he's booking it like Overeem. Tien tries a soccer kick. He's staying aggressive, but his opponent is just too elusive. Goku pulls back from the power shot and shoots back in to land a headbutt. Counters the left hand with a body shot. Tien fires back with a nasty knee to the body himself. Instant get back here though. Tien not letting up.
Them boys is really boxing, bro.
Hits the mirror image
Them boys is really boxing.
Again, bad move against this guy. He spots him easily. Eat that head kick. But it was just an after image. Goku's got him dead to rights here, but... See, I told you, you can't win like this against Tien. This is his domain. Nice try, but you gotta... Goku counters with a kick to the temple, winning the after image exchange and dropping Tien heavy. This is super impressive work here. And he actually
when you watch OG Dragon Ball, you get why everybody's like, bro, when Goku get here, it's up for y'all. When Goku get here is you know what I'm saying? Because like he literally was handling every problem, like was just unstoppable even when he was a little kid. Like he was just the savior. Like he was like, you could just like, if you watch OG Dragon Ball, you can just tell like, oh, that's why they revere this nigga so much. It's like Goku, like why niggas is calling for his name and everything. It's because he's just like that. He's like that. Kid Goku gotta be. Not that I don't like OG. Not that I don't like adult Goku, but Kid Goku is one of my favorite anime characters. In general, I really like Kid Goku. I don't know why. But in Dragon Ball Z, my favorite character is it switches between Vegeta or Future Trunks and then Goku. But you know he's top 3, but it's either Vegeta or Future Trunks. But Kid Goku would be probably like 4 in all Dragon Ball Z, or all Dragon Ball in general, and then no, he'd be 3. But yeah, he'd be 3 in all of Dragon Ball in general, and then 5 would be like Gohan maybe when he ain't on bullshit. Maybe Piccolo.
That's why he's surprised to see Tien beat the 10 count as round 2 comes to a close. And I'm scoring the second round a 10-9 for Goku. This was a super competitive round, but Goku stole it at the very end with his knockdown. Actually, I think he was a little bit ahead of Tien before
Tien did
that
not hit.
too. Their strike stats
I
were
guess
super
neither of them
similar,
did,
but
for real.
Goku was controlling the ring more
Goku
and
got a
making the better
knockdown.
adjustments. I'm not saying Tien wasn't very competitive, but he was noticeably more frustrated than his opponent and seemed just a step behind. The score is now 19-18 in favor of Tien. Goku's closing the point gap from the first round, and he's fully taking the momentum. But we're still early in the fight. Let's take a look at the third round.
If you're trying to stay lean and
I thought that was Steve Kerr. I was like, what the fuck?
comfort of your own home,
I think it was Steve Kerr.
Game-changing to
Round 3 starts off with Tien pissed off about losing the last round. He wants to right that wrong as soon as possible, so he pulls out one of his ace moves, the Solar Flare. While everybody is blinded, he bomb rushes Goku, trying to land a huge right hand, but he grabs it. Him being so caught off guard made this counter to the body even more devastating, bro. He's hurt real bad. Remember, Goku had the advantage of seeing this move done in Tien's last match, so he was able to think on the spot and steal Roshi's glasses when he needed to. And here he pays for his arrogance again by turning his back on his opponent, thinking it's sweet. Eat that knee. Goku with the cast iron jaw somehow doesn't get dropped and even gathers distance, but he's hurt. Now here come the shenanigans we don't want to see. They're about to clash, but something freezes Goku up, making him get clipped heavy and dropped. He gets up pissed off, calling Tien a cheater, but he's like, what the hell are you talking about? They come in
Oh,
again,
yeah, that's when
Goku
Shiatsu
blocking the
started
kick
cheating.
flurry, Tien parrying the punches, takes a step back to block the big one with the knee, and almost lands a head kick in return. He takes to the sky and Goku follows. Right before they clash, we see Master Shen's been giving Chaozu orders to use his psychic powers on Goku. That's that insecurity. And again he gets clipped because of this interference. I'm surprised Tien hasn't caught on by now. Not only is he taking unnecessary damage, but he had to waste energy on a Kamehameha to keep him from losing by ring out. Bro, the same thing happens a third time. This little idiot is ruining the fight. Roshi and Yamcha are catching on to the foul play. Tien still has no clue. How, bro? Look at this. It happens a fourth time. What, you don't notice your opponent's having a freaking seizure every time he tries to engage? This is just complete BS. Tien gets cocky and turns his back on his opponent like Goku did.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know.
Get clipped and dropped. He stands back up and they re-engage. No, stop it. Bro, I'm sick of seeing that stupid blank expression on his face. And put that finger away. We don't know where that's been. Yamcha has a broken leg, so he has an excuse for not intervening. But what was Master Roshi on? Do something! Lancha was the only one willing to take action. This little is gonna make me lose my parlay at plus 1,000. On my $50 bet, that's $500. She tries to bash this dude's head in, but it doesn't work. Yay, they saved Chaozu. Meanwhile, Goku is getting teed off on and dropped like a sack of potatoes.
I actually tried to shoot him.
Tien finally finds out about Master Shen and Chaozu's
Launch
intervention
quick to
and demands that they stop. They're arguing telepathically, and Tien says that he wants to win a fair fight and that he doesn't want to be a mercenary anymore. After hearing this, Shen is absolutely crashing out, and here come the Kamehameha.
Do we ever see Shin again after
fault,
this?
But I gotta take a point away from Tien for all the BS Goku was put through. And I won't be counting any of the strikes he landed on the stat sheet for his benefit. Which, by the way, if you're curious, was 164 shots and 5 knockdowns. Yeah, the round ends here, and I'm gonna score it a 10-9 for Goku. And with the point deduction, that's gonna make it a 10-8. Very weird stats here since I'm not including the interruption shots, which was like 95% of the round. It is what it is. As crazy as this round was, it still isn't as bizarre as when that one dude parachuted into the ring during the Holyfield fight.
What the fuck?
Goku is now up 28-27 going into the championship rounds. Let's take a look at the 4th round. Round 4 starts off with both fighters lunging in, but Tien takes his foot off the gas at the last second and gets clipped with a head kick. He bounces back but gets punted up top once more. Then he absolutely gets lit up with this 47 strike combo from Goku, getting dropped twice in the process. Goku's wondering why he's not throwing any shots back, what's going on, and he says,
Chaozu's interference gave me an unfair advantage. Now we're even.
I actually appreciate
now we're even.
So as a courtesy, I won't be counting these shots for Goku on the stat sheet, just like I did for Tien, but my brother, we are not even. Oh well, at least we're finally done with the BS. Tien's gonna reach into his bag to pull out one of the more bizarre techniques we've seen in the show.
Yeah, bro, Tien be doing some weird shit.
Hit us with the Machamp. He feints his sidekick, comes
the
in
multi-arm technique.
Double chop attempt, but a block. Give it up, man. It never works. It does help him set up the shot, though. Goku dodges and pulls away, but immediately starts to get overwhelmed when Tien comes in with the flurry. One of those punches comes through and almost knocks him out of the ring. Goku recomposes, though, and catches his opponent off guard with a sidekick. He thinks he got him, but
You think it's that easy?
Tien lands 5 vicious headbutts to the body here. Me personally, I'm spamming knees at this point because you'd be safer from the tail, which Goku does use to whack him in the face with and stun him. Then he keeps just smacking him silly here until Tien is forced to let go. He's free, but he still has the problem of 4 arms to deal with. And get this, his solution to the issue is to make 8 arms. Yay. Come on. This is just another optical illusion with him moving his arms fast. Like, Tien can do this too. He did it with Jackie Chun, and it didn't work. So tell me why Goku's actually got Tien on the ropes here. Like, how does this solve the problem? You know what, Toriyama was definitely just trying to be goofy and glaze Goku here, but my headcanon is that Tien didn't train in the Machamp form often, so those hands just weren't calibrated like that. He gets clipped with the left, one on the torso. Body kick lands with a straight right behind it. Up kick sends Tien to the sky, but he recomposes, and now both guys are coming in hot. Tien lands an elbow up top, while Goku lands a side kick to the body. Both get dropped heavy. They went for a minute, but they stand up to beat the 10 count. As round 4.
I'm telling you, like, this is the craziest thing to see. Like, imagine you're hold on.
10-9 for Tien. When you look at the stats, Goku did land twice as much.
Like, imagine you're watching a UFC fight, and a nigga sprouts out 2 more arms, and they just keep the fight going. Like, oh, it's just some technique he has. Like, nigga, what? Like what? That's so crazy to me. Like, bro, what? Or like a nigga like well, it's just that's just hilarious to me. I don't know why. That shit is so funny. Let me check this to make sure we're streaming good and everything. Real quick. Looking good, looking good, looking good. Matter of fact, let me do this real quick. That over here. Well, then over here. Over here. Look at that. Yeah, let's get back to it.
Volume, but Tien landed 3 knockdowns to Goku's 1. Yeah, those first 2 were kind of flash knockdowns, but I don't know, I still value them more than, 8 extra strikes? I can see the argument for a draw this round if you had it that way, but I personally had Tien barely edging it. The score is now an even 37-37 going into round 5. This is it, winner takes all. Let's take a look at the 5th and final round.
Scribe is how you stop explaining the same thing over and over at work. Watch this, it'll change your life.
Both fighters are visibly gassing here as they're having their stare down. Tien comes in with a double spear hand, duck. Goku rolls under and kicks his opponent's leg out. Must have torn some ligaments or something, because look at the pain in his eyes after he drops. Goku hits him with the walls of Jericho. Help! Help me! Help! Bro, use your other arms. Oh, right. He grabs him by the neck. Really, he should be fighting the hands, but this might work. Goku's struggling to stay conscious, but I think the pain and fatigue was too much for Tien to sustain his Machamp technique, so the arms retract. What the hell was the announcer thinking trying to get an interview here?
Could you tell the audience how you feel?
My legs are being pulled from their sockets. How do you think I feel?
You can blow a Joe Rogan.
Shouts offering the help again. Just stop. Okay? This is why I was happy when Mercenary Tao put him in the hospital. I was truly happy.
I liked it.
Tien just thugging it out. He's a junkyard dog. Outmuscles and launches Goku into the arena wall. He dropped him. But the young Saiyan comes out of the rubble and he's looking locked in. Tien's not going to risk exchanging with this dude anymore. He's been half a step ahead in the hands department most of this fight. Don't get me wrong, Tien has excellent hand-to-hand skills, but Goku is just better at making those adjustments. He has better adaptability. He's a born fighter. Tien's advantage in this matchup is his incredibly deep bag of techniques. And he's about to use his ace move,
fixing something
the
real
Tri-Beam.
quick.
He warns Goku to dodge because he won't survive before he takes to the sky. He plans to destroy the ring, basically forcing a win by ring out since his opponent can't fly. Goku wants to tank it, but Roshi is begging him to dodge. He knows the Tri-Beam is just different. Tien fires off the blast, and look at Goku's face changing real quick. Even he's not built for this one. When the smoke clears, the ring is gone, leaving just a massive crater. Only a geologist could tell you how deep this goes. This might be the most dense, compact ki blast in the entire series. Look how close everyone was to the
Tri-Beam! Tri-Beam is so tough.
Collateral damage. Even the grass is still green. Real quick, look how packed that arena is. Goku is a pay-per-view draw. He's a needle mover. And he's alive too after taking Tien's advice last second and dodging. He flies up to him and Goku thanks him for the warning, saying there's no way he'd have been ready to evade if he didn't tell him ahead of time. So right off the bat, if this wasn't a tournament fight, Tien would have slaughtered him. And guys, if you see in the comments anyone even tries to argue this, my friend, you've just spotted a VIP member of the Goku Glaze squad, because ain't no way. But that's coulda, shoulda, woulda. We're here now, and Goku isn't giving up. He's always looking for a solution. That's one of the things that makes him so special. Shit. He's charging up a Kamehameha, and Tien, like a moron, is just like, I can handle that blast. Bro, just fly away. What are you even doing here? Dude's about to fumble the bag so we can have a conversation. Talk to him about the fight while you're counting your prize money. The young Saiyan turns around and fires off the beam to propel himself like a rocket and lands a huge headbutt to the body. He gave him the Raditz special. Now they're free-falling, just waiting to see who hits the ground first and loses. Look at the OG tournament announcer, his dedication to the job. He could have just said, screw it, it's a draw. But he's got too much love for the game. He needs to give the audience the accurate result. Goku farts out a little Kamehameha to give himself a bit of height, and now he's got the clear advantage. It looks like Tien's gonna fall first, but Tien wins in the 5th round.
That's the same way you lost the first one.
That's the result of the fight in the show, but with our format, this is basically a double knockout, and the fight would be ruled a no contest. That's my official result.
Contest.
And that's not me trying to be biased towards Goku. I'm just trying to be consistent with the format. It's such a weird one to call. Goku technically lost in the show, but he was the better fighter. But Tien would have won with the Tri-Beam. It's just, honestly, the more I think about it, no contest really does seem like the right call, even though I really did want to use this format to give an official winner for the match. It is what it is. here are the stats for the fight overall. Again, this is not including any strikes thrown or landed because of the Chaozu shenanigans. Still, Tien was ahead on strikes landed, strike connect percentage, knockdowns. Take it with a grain of salt though, because a lot of this differential is literally from the first half of round 1.
Oh, Brandon,
Goku
speaking
was
of, I don't know if
sandbagging
we're
like
still
an
in here.
idiot and got
But
caught
speaking
with
of Dragon Ball, did you see, we saw a picture because you know the whole DC KO thing. You see basically Shazam Superman fused and the nigga was wearing Patara earrings. Look kind of tough. I saw a video about that or TikTok or something. But anyway.
stupid amount of shots. The fight was much closer than the numbers suggest here. We had a similar kind of dynamic stat-wise for Goku versus Frieza 2 back when I covered that,
won this fight,
if you guys
though.
remember. Anyways, thank you for making it this far. Please hit that like button and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I will
And yeah, he would have won if it wasn't for the Turn Worlds. Okay, but that was that one. Like I said, I love this dude's videos. The Simple Saying. I just think it's his editing is fire. This is like the best video I've watched of him too. We had like when he mixed in the humor and everything with it too. His editing is fire. Everything else is like I just love the way he breaks the fights down. Everything. I'm a fan of UFC too, so I think he did his Thug Dizzle. He be doing his Thug Dizzle. So go show love to him for sure if you haven't seen it. You don't know who Shazam is? Like the Captain Marvel nigga Shazam? He used to be Shazam. Oh. But yeah, I guess in like the DCKO thing, like it's like an event or whatever that DC's doing. It's like a tournament, fighting tournament or something. But basically they had like a 2-on-2 thing and like basically Shazam gave Superman his powers or they fused or something. And he looked like he had Patara rings on and he had like he looked tough. Let me see if I can find Paul Triple H. Let's see. Superman. Good picture. He looked like this. He looked like he had Patara rings on. This, he looked pretty tough. Like he looked like he had Patara rings on. I don't know if you can see it. No, it's not getting any bigger. Sorry. But yeah, it looked tough. I just wondered if you saw that. Oh yeah. But back to the video. Shout out Sensible Saying. I love his channel. He's dope. Now shifting to some more oh, you didn't know what I was referencing. Yeah, it's like an event they're doing, I guess. DC. It's like about some shit to do with Darkseid and getting his power if you win the tournament. I got like villains and heroes fighting each other in it. It's like a tournament. Batman died before the tournament even started. But now back to some more videos we're going to react to. This one is the next one's gonna be from if you ever heard of Seth the Programmer. He used to do like a power scaler. He have some interesting videos about animes and other stuff too. But this one is, kind of tied since we're getting close to Doomsday, kind of, or some more Doctor Doom's topic on everybody's, minds. We're gonna be talking about, or we're gonna watch his video where it's why 99.9% of fiction can't take Doctor Doom in a one-on-one, which
at this point you're probably
kinda
not
cap.
avoiding therapy because of stigma.
But also
you're
maybe not. I
probably
don't know.
avoiding therapy
Guess you
because
don't tell
you've
us why it
become
is.
very good.
On my channel recently, I've done a few videos.
Let's get to it.
Mainly are collab videos around a powerful singular entity in fiction that can take out the majority of the rest. So, for instance, we did Itachi on my side channel, and on this channel,
Itachi.
we did Aizen from Bleach.
I don't really know much about is that nigga like that though in Bleach? Are niggas in Bleach like that in general? To where he can beat Deku, Luffy, the nigga from Asta, I mean, and I don't know who's behind Asta and them. That he can just beat them like. I mean, I think he's supposed to be like a really smart character. I remember him in Jump Force. He had like a kind of an OP move, if I remember correctly. I don't know. I don't know if I'm ever getting into Bleach, to be honest with you. Like, I'd definitely get into One Piece before I got into Bleach. Even though I'm already kind of watching the One Piece, but
those videos are a little bit tongue-in-cheek in the naming, where we say 99.9%.
Itachi, I don't think they do. He doesn't be healthy and all that
It's
stuff.
not really talking about every known popular heavy hitter of all time. It's just sort of a joke title based on, well, 99.9% of fiction would in fact get beat up by Itachi and Aizen in 1v1s. That's just true. Like, who in Game of Thrones is gonna take them out? Like, just realistically, or Twilight, are they taking out Itachi or Aizen? Think about any of these characters. Homelander, not happening. In those videos, we went over, just for the fun of it, even particularly strong hacks abilities. So Aizen and Itachi, they both have very powerful hypnosis abilities that conventionally strong.
You want to run Jump Force on stream? Like, you want to go against me in Jump Force on stream?
Even against people that might be more powerful.
I don't know if they server still on. I got the game. I got the game.
We'll be talking about Dr. Doom. Now, Dr. Doom, unlike Aizen and Itachi, actually
I can dust that off with the digital, knock the digital dust off that.
99.9% of most characters in fiction, even in the most popular.
I don't know if they got the server still on there, but no minutes I played it. But
you can think
you know what's funny about Jump Force? The first online game it had, I made a nigga rage quit. That was so crazy to me. The first one, I practiced for a little bit, and Wednesday, and then he quit. He quit mid game. I remember I was using. I think I was probably using Yusuke. I was using like Yusuke, Vegeta, and like Itachi. Well, not Itachi. Yusuke, Vegeta, and Sasuke, or something like that. Some combination like that. And I was fired. That game had a hell of potential, but I don't know. It was just like it just got too spammy and like just crazy. Like it was just like, bruh. And there was no rematch button. That's the other thing that pissed me off about that game. Because like they would use the same characters and they get you like an infinite combo. And it was one of them niggas from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. Oh yeah, it's probably isn't crossplay. But it was one of them niggas from JoJo's Bizarre Adventures, and he would just do the fucking and it would just loop into some shit and loop into some shit. And I remember like one of the last time I played because he just pissed me off so much. I was like, bro, he just got me into the infinite combo. That's literally all he was doing. And I was like, you're so lucky there's not a rematch button, because if I could rematch you, I would beat the dog shit. I would beat you bad. And then by the graces of the fighting game gods, that when I picked the next match, it was that same nigga again. Oh my gosh, I beat the brakes off him. And I just stopped playing. I don't remember how much else I played after that, but I'll never forget that. I was like, bro, you're so lucky there's not a rematch button. And then I ran back into him, did him dirty. I remember, but my team that I used, but after that, like I had a few teams. My main team was like my custom character, and then it'd be like Kenshin, the nigga with like the orange hair and shit, and then like he fights with the sword backwards, and then it was, I think it was Future Trunks, or it was either Future Trunks or maybe Vegeta. I think it was Future Trunks. Pretty sure it's Future Trunks. Or I would run Yusuke, Vegeta, and Sasuke. And then I had another one. I think it was like my character. Then it was like Goku, and then it was like no, it was my character Vegeta, and then it was like I think it was that one nigga from the Fist of the North Star. I don't know, but let's get back to the video.
Dr. Doom actually does have a reason for why you might think he would beat them. So with me today, I brought Chuck and Crisis Comics. They both are experts on this topic.
Ultimate
so
Alliance.
Kind of asking them some questions I think you guys will find interesting.
I'll never forgive them for making that number 3.
I guess we'll start out with
exclusive
Chuck,
to the Switch.
Crisis and I will kind of go over a bit of something
I'll never
more
forgive them.
interesting in terms of cross-verse discussions with the character. But Chuck, he sort of has more of the conventional take here, where just going off of the main comics alone and something more standard or orthodox.
Could he be most
would
of fiction? I mean, I
happen
guess
if you
kind
were to
of.
throw Dr. Doom in a verse like One Piece, in a verse like Bleach, in a verse like Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, anything else? What do you think would realistically happen if you were to?
I don't know.
throw
When niggas be
Dr.
saying
Doom
they can
in
like,
there? And I'm kind of
when they be talking about certain characters can like mess with Dragon Ball Z characters, I'm just like, I mean, I guess if you take some random thing that nigga did in the 1960s where they just was writing whatever, but you know what I'm saying? I don't know, nigga. I don't know.
curious.
You know, like comics, they be kind of capped sometimes. Like, I'm just not about the money. I just don't want to switch. I don't want to switch. I don't want to switch. I would only play. I would only play that. That's it. I only play that. Maybe Smash Bros. That's it. I just don't. I'm just nah. I can't do it. Just can't do it. But well, oh yeah, they be like capping out in comics sometimes. Like Squirrel Girl beat Thanos before. Like, nah, nigga. I mean, I guess they be capping out in anime too. But you know.
How you think you'd actually interact with certain abilities? Like,
Just
how
get
do you
a
think
Switch.
you'd interact
Never.
with something like Tsukuyomi from Itachi? Or how do you think he would
I might
deal
buy
with,
the game
like,
and take my little
Aizen's
sister Switch,
immortality,
but-
Yuha's almighty, Could he touch sort of like a being made of light, like, you know, the hockey users and
Hungry Root makes
One thing I am interested about One Piece is like, when did they get to doing shit like that? Like when does this happen?
characters like
Like what happens to where like, yeah, they need to start doing this?
light, like
Because from where I watched up to that, like the fish shark nigga part, he didn't need to be doing all this. So what happens to where this nigga needs to do that? That's the only thing that makes me really more interested about watching it. It's like, what the fuck happened?
Curious about that. Do you think he has a resistance to Toon Force and things like that? So, without further ado, let's hear it.
So, before I really get into what exactly he would really do in those situations, one thing is clear that Doctor Doom is kind of like a composite character. Now, what I mean by that is you can take an archetype or a general, like, you know, strong character in a particular concept, right? And then you combine those by several times. You might even like amplify those abilities by several times. And then you pretty much get every single ability you can think of in fiction. That is Doctor Doom. So what I mean by that is you take Iron Man's expertise of technology, which has allowed him to fight against gods and cosmic entities before. He's one of the smartest people in Marvel. And even Doctor Doom is above him, right? So we take that, and then you give him Doctor Strange level magic. You even give him some dark arts, which is stuff that Doctor Strange himself doesn't even dwell into, right? So you combine Iron Man and Doctor Strange. You give him a little bit of each.
I do really hope in the MCU they make him actually be able to use magic and some other shit besides just like lightning, like they always try to make him do, or like the fucking Mountain Dew powers he had in the Fantastic Four movie with Michael B. Jordan. Real ones read One Piece, not watch it. Well, we won't be reading it. I'll let you know that. But I really got a new season of that. Like low key might be sacrilege, but low key I kind of want to watch like the first season of the Netflix one just so I can get just get caught up to most of like the stuff that I need to see and then start from where that left off at. But I don't know. I don't know if I think the Netflix one is. I heard people say it was good. I don't know. I don't know if they're on season 2 or 3, but we'll see it. We'll see. Because I was watching it, but I was like, I got other stuff to watch, gang, and it's like it got like the beginning of it had like the old anime pacing, but I also had other stuff to watch. So it's like, you know. But anyway, let's get back to the video.
He has used a soul sword, which is a mystical sword in Marvel.
Soul sword, nigga got the Totsuka blade.
Very hard to use. How many people can actually access? Or
I hear you might have a sword in Avengers Doomsday,
like a soul
or a
sword
Secret
would
Wars one of them,
negate, like
which would be
conventional
tough.
Physical durability, like you need like more of a specific resistance to tank it.
Those specifically can attack your soul. So yeah, so he has wielded that. He has a little bit of like high tier, maybe even like low god tier martial arts.
They did Black Panther so dirty right there. Just make a loss to a headbutt.
He has competed against
before you know the movie made him
really good martial arts, like Taskmaster, who has literally copied virtually every other character, including Captain America and Chi, Iron Fist, and these guys.
I don't know. I'll just see. Maybe the second season. I don't know what season they're on.
In realms outside of time and space, and they have gathered more techniques than virtually almost anyone in fiction, right? Like you can get every martial arts from Baki or One Punch Man, Dragon Ball, whatever, right? And that would still just be a mere fraction of what these masters in Marvel have, and Doctor Doom can fight against the best of them, right? So not only does this guy have crazy science and magic, hand-to-hand combat, he has great weaponry. He can freeze people.
I don't think Doctor Doom hands is like that now. I don't think Doctor Doom's hands is like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he'd be fighting like I don't think he can hang with like Iron Fist or like even Captain America. I don't think he got hands like that. I just think he can kind of, you know, hold his own and he uses like other stuff to like fight. I don't think he got like straight like you know what I mean? I don't think he got these for real. But okay.
He can transfer his mind. He can drain your energy. He can literally analyze
the magic and everything too, I believe. But hands like that.
And another crazy thing is that he's kind of like a Saiyan or like a Hulk type of character in terms of adaptation, because although sure he's not getting strong like through anger, right? It is more so through his willpower and through his analysis, because through his microcomputers he can literally like get exponentially powerful. So when he was in the Triumph and Torment arc with Doctor Strange, he was able to pretty much learn how to use his advanced technique that he had never seen before in pretty much a few minutes. He can counter virtually almost any ability you can think of, and then I'll get more into specifics as to what he would exactly do against those abilities. But just know that he is basically like a jack of all trades, master of many, dare I say master of nearly all.
I still don't think he got hands like that. I don't know what you're This nigga Nightcrawler.
What did I get myself?
As for the specifics as to why Doctor Doom is immeasurably fast and why
I can't believe that they canceled Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes for this show. I just can't believe that. That if you've never seen Avengers: Earth Mightiest Heroes, it's bruh. They do certain stuff better than they for a fact do Secret Invasion storyline better than the MCU did, and they do a few other things a little bit better than the MCU did. That show is so fire. So far, I can't believe they canceled that show because it wasn't selling toys or whatever. And they replaced it with like the animation on this is ugh. Like just ugh. Look at this nigga. Ugh. The animation in Earth Mightiest Heroes. It'll probably show up again. I'll pause it when that happens.
Currently stronger
it's way better
or in his
and
or
just better show overall.
Than he was when he held the power of the Ivory King.
One thing I don't like about sometimes what they do is like they try to make too much stuff synergize with like the MCU. In Earth Mightiest Heroes, it was similar to the MCU because it was it's Marvel, but it's not like it wasn't like MCU. They didn't have the same suit. They had more classic suits and more just felt like comic books more so than just the movies. You know what I mean?
That is quite easy to get into.
Like, this is Earth Mightiest Heroes.
Silver Surfer could battle while time traveling at the same time. Adam Warlock and Thanos have been able to move around in timeless, spaceless, and conceptless voids, where literally everything was erased, including the cosmic entities themselves. Even Doctor Strange and other Defenders, including some that aren't really on Doctor Doom's level but are quite impressive themselves, were able to move in and perceive a battle of primordial cosmic entities in a realm that existed before science, magic, time-space, and dimensionality were even a thing to begin with. Valkyrie Jane Foster could also cross through and between several infinite realms in the blink of an eye, including Asgard itself, which has a very, pretty big cosmology because it has several infinite gaps between it and the inner reaches of the already infinite universe. Even people under Doctor Doom's tier, like Ares, could move between Planck moments, which is the absolute shortest measurement of time. And Doctor Doom, having fought some of these characters before or would scale from them, would also be on a similar scale quite easily. Now, as I mentioned previously, Pre-Retcon Beyonder was many, many times stronger than all of the
They need to give this show the X-Men 97 treatment, bro.
An incomplete Ivory unit.
I know there's a new
on every dimension.
I know there's a new like Spider-Man show that I actually say is really, really good. The new anime, I don't know what it's called. I forget, like Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, I think. And they say that's really, really good, but oh no, bro. I need that OG Spider-Man. I need that. I need that. I need that shit. Sorry. Anyway, let's get back to it.
In reality, simultaneously. Then this Beyonder evolves into Cosmos, becomes even stronger, learns more about the Marvel Omniverse, and reaches his mental maturity. And even though he's several infinite layers stronger than he was back in the classic days when he was already a big deal, he is still able to be pressed by God of Stories Loki, who has narrative and story negation and traps, which even Doctor Doom was able to use against him. A Nightmare, an eldritch entity who feeds off of, well, nightmares, was able to toy with the 2015 Beyonders, who had murdered virtually every cosmic entity, including the Living Tribunal, Celestials, and Eternity. And this is basically the power source that God Emperor Doom used to basically.
Oh, I hope we see something like this in the movie. In Secret Wars, that'd be so tough.
So, as strong as Nightmare is, Doctor Doom could counter his reality warping, and Wanda and Thor, who Doctor Doom has fought alongside and against before, have stated that they themselves are equal to Nightmare's power. So all of these guys would scale from his feat of, defeating these Beyonders. Other characters like Blue Marvel, who's another really strong Superman.
He need to be in the MCU too.
Marvel was able to destroy
Idris Elba would kill playing Blue Marvel
of a Beyonder. So it is all very consistent that these higher tier levels from 10 to 20 or 30 years ago are more so the standard for the high tier heroes and villains now, right? So in other words, threats like the 2010 era Chaos King and Avatar of Oblivion, who aged almost all of the Marvel multiverse and its higher realms, that took a heavily amped Hercules to fight against, would now be handled with moderate to no difficulty by most of the current higher tier characters.
Do you have lips?
Like
hold on.
Doom,
hold on.
Right?
Do they get that nigga lips like it?
Most of the current would now be handled with moderate to no difficulty.
They gave him lips. I usually have like the mouth thing. It looked like he gave him like metal lips. What the fuck?
By most of the current higher tier characters, like Doctor Doom, right?
Michael Mason isn't just an assassin.
I'm Jason Statham.
In terms of his adaptation, that's sort of a hot topic these days because characters like Maharaj.
You think it's spoiling Jujutsu Kaisen for me?
Aizen has adaptation. Goku has adaptation. Boo, characters like that. So I'm kind of curious, actually, what level of adaptation are we talking about? Like, what's something in particular that he adapted to that you would say is like particularly impressive? Like, so if he was to go into a burst, and let's say for whatever reason someone was going to make an excuse that he didn't have like a very niche, specific counter to a power. What's a good argument for something that he could adapt to realistically?
He has like absorbed a lot of knowledge in a short period of time. Like he outright straight up PhDs or at least like high level of intelligence and expertise in the topic within a couple of months to maybe even a few years. And most people, even the smartest people in Marvel, would take like decades, hundreds of years, thousands of years to even get that.
Oh, wait, what the hell? Hold on. I stopped the short stream. When did it stop? Yeah. What the fuck? What the hell? Okay, hold on. Reset it. That's why I was like, I say stream ended. The fuck? Still good on the other one. Yeah. Why did this one stop? The hell? What? Okay, hold on. You fucking fix this real quick. Raise. The fuck? Oh, my target. Okay. Or I'm stupid. Let me sorry. Let me say it on YouTube. Okay. You know, then why did it stop? It's weird. Okay. Thanks. I don't know why I did that. That's really weird. Yeah, what the hell? Why did it stop? It stopped streaming on the shorts feed. Maybe it's a time limit on it. I don't know. I don't know, but that's weird that it did that. Okay. Well, it should be live now. You could bet. My fault. I don't know why. I don't know why that happened. I have no idea why that happened. Okay.
Fraction of what Doctor Doom has, right? And on top of that, Doctor Doom has several fields of expertise. Virtually almost anything you can think of, he will find a way. He will analyze it. He has informational like machines, right, that can do it like in nanoseconds. And well, that's even a low ball, right? Because obviously these guys are dealing with things beyond time and space, right?
I think what we're gonna do here is talk about how strong he is and how fast he is, and then we'll kind of get into like specific hacks counters, and then we'll kind of get into Crisis here and what he wanted to say.
Doctor Doom has fought against entities that literally
Make sure
are based or derived.
Sound synced up though too, real quick. I cannot believe I bought that shit in extra small. That's so crazy to me. I cannot believe I bought that shit in extra small. All right, the voice was synced up. I cannot believe because that jacket was so tough too. Anyway, I hope that they can give me a new one or at least give me my money back.
Or even transcend or contain
Okay.
concepts, ideas, dualities, life and death, dark and light, right?
I can't believe I did that,
them,
bro.
things that
That's so
transcend
crazy.
spatial dimensions, infinite spatial dimensions.
Things that aren't based on the physical attacks that pretty much every verse would even utilize.
Yeah, so to give you a really good frame of reference for how insanely smart Doctor Doom is and how crazy even like, you know, quote unquote intelligent normal humans are in Marvel, Amadeus Cho, who I'd say is like maybe top 20, top 10 right now, right? Even back in the day, he was able to like not only analyze and see the infinite multiverse through its infinite steps, but he could also scan through infinite multiverses because there are infinite multiverses in Marvel, right? And then you get to Dreamtime, which is like an even higher realm. It's actually several layers above the infinite spatial temporal living universe, and Asgard, which Asgard is already infinitely beyond the bounds of the mortal universe. There's a lot of transcendences in between. There's a lot of layers, which makes this really complicated for most crossover matches because most people think are like, oh, like he's a danger to the Earth, right? He's only planetary, but it's like, no, these guys are fighting crazy stuff, especially when you get into like, what realms are these guys affecting? What is their power set? Where are they drawing this power from, right? But anyways, with these hellish realms, for example, Magic, she gets her power from Limbo, which is one of those higher realms. Even she is literally outer-versal, right? And she's not even one of the strongest characters in Marvel, right? You have Dreamtime, the Astral Plane. That is basically where the telepaths get their power from, like Apocalypse, you know, Jean Grey, Professor Xavier, Onslaught. And anyways, once Amadeus Cho got to Dreamtime, again, this guy can literally see the multiverse on infinite levels. He was like, I cannot comprehend this. Like, even mathematics does not do anything here. So you get all these higher dimensions.
Hey everybody,
wait, Amadeus Cho has
we're going to take a look at the Spedient's Gym Monster 2, which is an all
realms. And again, Doctor Doom has fought against Mephisto and Dormammu, even Mephisto himself. His realm is infinitely transcendental to like that infinitely layered universe and all
we
those
see
other
Mephisto
realms.
again
You're
too
looking
after
into
or in Secret Wars or something.
like several layers above baseline outer, and that is just for base Doctor Doom, not even at his strongest. When you go off the cosmology, Doctor Doom scales to the very high ends, even without all those external power-ups or whatever, right? God Emperor Doom. I would honestly even argue that base Doom right now is stronger than God Emperor Doom was in 2015.
Wait, what?
Because of a lot of increases in power. Kind of like in Dragon Ball, right? How like base Goku became stronger than Super Saiyan Blue Vegito.
Nigga, that's super Cap. That gotta be Cap. He said Doctor Doom right now, just normal Doctor Doom. Just normal Doctor Doom is stronger than God Emperor Doom. We had the all white on in Secret Wars in 2015. Cap. That's gotta be. This is no way. What the fuck?
All trains
Hell
from
no.
earlier arcs. Same thing here. Doctor Doom in base is basically in those like high, in those out.
But let me pull up the new chat. I just realized I got the old one up. Anyway, there's no way that's true though.
Outer versal levels, right?
You know, when I think of Doom, this guy came out of nowhere and he ripped Thanos' spine out of his body with like his bare hands, like just no difficulty. And it was so intense that it's what inspired Black Frieza ripping gas apart, like in the manga for Dragon Ball. Like it was that iconic of a scene. So I was actually kind of curious how like just physically strong, just like realistically, do you think this character is? Because you said he has godlike martial arts. He's probably throwing hands better than Goku. You know, so it's what does that even mean for him? And then how fast do you think that is too? So we talked about he's kind of beyond these abstract entities that are absorbing multiverses. Maybe they're kind of reaching realms of logic. But where in this cosmology do you think he really fits into it all?
Let's like picture this, right? So we have like those classic era heralds, and I'm talking like 60s, 70s. Even these weakest guys could blow up stars, right? And endanger galaxies. So if you guys remember the pre-retcon Beyonder, right, in the 70s Secret Wars, he was supposed to be the strongest character at the time. He was supposed to exist outside of the Marvel multiverse, and verbatim said to be hundreds, thousands, millions of times stronger than every cosmic entity put together. And even back then, the cosmic entities, even just the avatars, were already outerversal, right? They literally extend to like the highest realms pretty much, right?
And an outerversal being is a being beyond the concept of space and time. So even if a character could blow up an infinite universe, they're just blowing up an infinite space. Or if there's a higher dimensional universe, it's still within space. So it's kind of beyond the concept of things that would embody a multiverse, a hyperverse, etc. Just for the audience.
That is still below what Doctor Doom is at, like by like several infinite magnitudes, right? That's basically what I'm trying to tell you guys here. So
he gotta have like a stuff. He can't just normally do that shit.
Because they incorporated more layers. We have the far shore. We got more specifics on the negative zone, a crossroads, right? Half a dozen, maybe over a dozen, maybe 24 layers, like of above baseline outerversal you're looking at.
And then obviously his speed would be inherently inaccessible because he's not bound by time. Does he freely travel throughout time if he wishes? Like, does he?
Yeah. So he has automatic time travel through his suit. He also has external machines too. He can teleport. He can heal himself too. His shields can negate a lot of stuff. But the thing is with his suit, so he can time travel. And he can pretty much just use it whenever he wants. A really important thing here is you guys might be like, hey, Dr. Doom, he's not like Silver Surfer, Thor level fast, right? But he actually is. You could argue he's not as agile as them. I think that's totally fair, right? Because they have completely different levels of travel. But either way, right? He can keep up with those entities. One of my favorite scaling as I was talking about earlier was with the Beyonder is the pre-retcon Beyonder. He's supposed to be 1,000 times stronger than everyone. Then he gets retcon. He gets kind of nerfed basically. And then they're like, oh, the pre-retcon Beyonder is actually like a child unit of the Beyonder, right? He's actually like a larva basically, right? The Cosmic Cube, they're basically these, larva Beyonders. And even this one, considering actually this Beyonder was like a half power, right? He was an incomplete one at that, and he was still reversal. And then he gets way stronger. He becomes Cosmos. He gets mentored by another cosmic cube called Cubic. And that is where that famous statement comes from, where he's looking at the Celestials and he's like, yeah, we have infinite power. We're beyond time and space, but this guy's like infinitely beyond us. And the thing is, that's not even like the highest ranking Celestial. So, but it should be at least low outer. And then Doctor Doom, he's fighting Chthon, who is literally the elder god who made the Scarlet Witch's power. The Scarlet Witch, even years before that battle, she was able to fight alongside like her mother and Agatha to fight against this being who is stronger than the Chaos King. The Chaos King is way stronger than Pre-Retcon Beyonder, and he was already destroying like 99% of the multiverse. Again, Amadeus Cho could actually analyze how much he destroyed exactly. And again, right, so these characters that are already several infinite magnitudes above Pre-Retcon Beyonder, who is already outer, and Doctor Doom is literally matching fools who are way stronger than that. And base.
Let's say he does get thrown against Shonen Jump. All right, just because it's popular. We already went over that he's got outer Goku hands. If he was
it'd be so tough to see.
With Aizen,
I don't think he got
combo him.
I don't think he got hands like that.
Game, and he couldn't move.
Yeah.
That's fine at all. But
I don't think he got hands like that. That's funny though. But I don't think he got hands like that, gang. I really don't. I don't think he got hands like that. I think I got rid of the other chat too. Let me see. I don't think Dr. Doom got hands like that. To where he can hang with Goku? I don't know about the nigga Aizen, but Goku? But Goku?
what are some things you actually do in response to them? Like realistically, like what happens if Itachi throws a Tsukuyomi at him, or tries to hit him with the Totsuka blade? What happens if he is confronted with Aizen's like soul hacks? Can he seal someone like Aizen? What happens if he does at the fight of Yuha being? We kind of went over like most of like the some of the Dragon Ball, and One Piece isn't really in contention for that type of stuff. There's not even that crazy of hacks to deal with. Like he has to beat Light. Well, he's already beyond time and space, so that's irrelevant. But how would he?
Why I get triggered when someone gives me unsolicited advice. When I was younger, it came
deal with like some of those well, he's already beyond time and space, so that's irrelevant. But how would he deal with like some of those types of hacks abilities?
He's encountered a lot of characters with similar abilities to like Aizen's and other Naruto characters, like hypnosis, or mind hacks or reality warping, manipulation.
Is Genjutsu and hypnosis the same thing though?
This erasure, he's outright countered that. Shield has like an AI system that'll like literally tell him of like different energy waves, so it'll warn him, and he can even analyze it. One of the biggest things that helped him actually overcome not only the Watchers, but also Odin and Galactus, the Beyonder, right? All these characters are way stronger than him. He was still able to analyze and modify his armor mid-battle so that he could actually withstand the power he absorbed. even though it was literally, I'm not talking like 10, 100 times, 1,000 times more power than his own base could take. I'm talking like several infinite magnitudes of power that he could withstand. Even Iron Man, right, who I would say Doctor Doom is definitely smarter than him in that regard in battle IQ as well. Even he's analyzed like different energy signatures and nullified them mid-battle, even ones that he had never seen before. He's even countering magic too, right?
Yeah, the way I'm seeing it is like, even if he had equal, like, let's say he wasn't even like powerful, like let's say he was like some Batman, like he was throwing like Batman or something. It almost feels like he could pull off like almost like a more like efficient Batman kind of like takedown of a verse where like his suit is just traveling through time, absorbing the energy by default, auto countering and stuff like that. How weak could he be and still like take down these verses? Like, is his hacks enough? Do you think to actually
Did his dick get burnt off in that happen? That's something I wonder.
Power doesn't matter, or do you think the power is still relevant?
Against most of fiction, I would say you could honestly take his magic and just give him his raw technology. You probably don't even have to give him like his suit either, and he could pretty still make it out of like
glazing this nigga a little bit.
% of those situations.
Let's say he was naked, dropped into the Naruto verse, and like no powers. You think he would be able to build a suit and then solo that verse like next day or something?
Yeah. So I mean, even Spider-Man has made like technology like on a stranded planet, and again, it's not no disrespect to Peter, because he's like a really smart character, but he's not as smart as Doctor Doom. Been like Mr. Fantastic and other variants that have made stuff that could map out the multiverse, right? Time travel. They could explore higher dimensions, right? Outside of spatial temporal stuff. Doctor Doom is pretty much on the same, right? Even Thanos himself was like, yeah, I need to get one of Doctor Doom's time machines, even though he has made his own, right? So like one of the things too that I was talking about earlier is his informational computer system. It'll like help him exponentially adapt. So as I said, he had never like studied advanced martial arts. He's only done it on his own. Triumph and Torment, that is where he went there the first time to see those mystic sorcerers, and he saw all of their abilities, and he's like, oh, I need to like actually adapt quickly, right? So he picked up on their movements, kind of like how Goku did achieve Ultra Instinct in like 45 minutes or even less than that. Dr. Doom could probably pick up, if not all advanced abilities in most of these verses in a very short amount of time if he really needed to. Beyonder, these guys had more power, they had more versatility or whatever. He still found a way to counter them. And again, he's literally fought against a lot of high-tier opponents. Dr. Doom can literally figure out how to counter them in real time while getting ganged up on. So you have to do virtually everything at the same time just to have a chance to beat him.
You could probably talk about Doom for hours, realistically, like all the crazy stuff he's done. But just for this video, that's kind of a basic idea. Like, you could drop him in a Shonen Jump verse, completely, like, nerfed, just no tech, and he could probably adapt to that verse, like, quickly and then solo it anyway.
Whichever verse you put him in, he will find a way to not only do it better than everyone else, but find other stuff that others might have not even thought was possible.
But that being said, we might have an actual canonical example of Doom being above 99.9% of fiction, and it might be arguably
from
legit.
Fortnite.
This is where Crisis has an interesting take, and now this will be centered around Fortnite. Now, a lot of you guys have wanted me to scale like Fortnite Goku for a while, and Crisis and I on stream, we kind of did like a joke, like Fortnite Goku versus Fortnite LeBron thing on my side channel. You guys might like it after this, but Fortnite Doom is arguably canon, probably canon, and Crisis will kind of get in all the details about that. And he takes down most of these other named powerhouses, which also might be arguably canon within Fortnite. So I'll let you handle all of that.
Yeah, I mean, if there's going to be the topic of Dr. Doom versus all of fiction, we actually basically saw that. And the evidence for it being canon, especially in the Marvel side of things, sort of lies in the main Thor run at the time, where the version of Galactus that was the super empowered, Super Galactus, basically, he was for a time the main villain of Fortnite, and in the comics, it segued right from the mainline Marvel official Thor run with this Galactus and transitioned into the actual game itself, and the writer even confirmed on Twitter. He said, yes, this is canon. The Marvel websites confirm it as well. They back it up, the official websites. So there is a precedent for these being the genuine 616 versions of the characters. There's also the sort of legal aspect, because a lot of people, when it comes to canon, they want to harp on, oh, well, does the parent company have the authority here? And as it turns out, Disney, who of course owns Marvel and Star Wars, which I'll talk about in a little bit, they put $1.5 billion into Fortnite, into Epic Games.
16 years ago, I started working as a CNA in the hospital. I loved it. On the day I did.
So they actually do have a lot of influence and control over that company. And we've seen this, especially when Dr. Doom, taking up for Galactus and Thanos before him, became the main villain of this arc, this chapter of the Fortnite game.
I wish we would have got that Cyclops skin
this,
in
Fortnite.
See
in the breadcrumbs of lore that exists in this shooter game, that Dr. Doom was able to take the power from Pandora's box, which at this point, Greek mythology, it's basically the same in Fortnite, but it's just the super powerful font of energy that Dr. Doom is able to just walk up to and steal, and is able to harness its power to reshape the entire island. All of the characters in the game are sort of, afraid of him. The website, the official Fortnite website, says that no one can stand up to his power. So he just is the top dog for a good period of time there. And it's worth noting that Fortnite is basically just the nexus of all fiction.
Closest you're gonna get.
Yeah, the closest, really. I mean, Skyrim is in there, Marvel, DC, various characters. Basically, any franchise you can think of. Star Wars, like I said, they just include those characters in the lore. I mean, Fortnite is so crazy. There are just cutscenes with, like, the Death Star blowing up, and then Superman shows up in the same scene right afterwards. So it's pretty heavy-handed in that sense. But with that being said, especially when talking about, how does Doom compare to fiction, this is sort of the biggest case study of that. He just runs the show. He just runs the gauntlet. He sniffs out the most powerful source of energy, takes it for himself.
Which supports what Chuck was saying earlier as well.
Exactly. It is very consistent with Doom's 616 abilities. If we look at the broader nature of Fortnite, what characters, what threats would Doom sort of supplant at that point, per being the ultimate threat at that point in time? Well, of course, there is Galactus, like I said, and I think Chuck demonstrated the sort of high-tier Marvel power levels pretty thoroughly already. But we also have, God of War. We have Elder Scrolls as well, which those series house sort of insane concepts and powerhouses that, especially God of War, Seth has broken down over various times on his channel. And in episode 9, in the opening title crawl of the Star Wars movie, it says, Sidious sent out this message that for everyone to hear that he's returned. And the only way to hear that message is to play Fortnite. It was in the game.
That's crazy.
At the time. And so it's kind of like essentially the Star Wars movie itself, Disney saying, all right, time to go play Fortnite to get the full story here from Star Wars. So whenever you see Darth Vader, whenever you see Palpatine, whenever you see Rey, it kind of just sort of has to be at least copies of their canon, selves, their canon iterations, because the way that Fortnite also operates, the sort of lore of it is demonstrated throughout the DC comics, the DC Batman tie-ins to Fortnite, because of course DC plays a part in that game very heavily. And it was actually edited by the story editor at the time of the Fortnite game. So it's all very collaborative. It's very hard to say that this is just some random crossover. But it's explained that when someone is taken into the loop, so when they take part in the sort of contest that Fortnite represents, they are copied as well. There is a perfect copy of them made. We see that Batman and Catwoman, they're sucked into this loop, and they eventually fight copies of themselves. So that's sort of how it's explained. Kratos shows up in Fortnite. Well, obviously, he has to go back to perform the events of God of War Ragnarok. Well, you can still play as Kratos in the game because he has a copy made that's just running around. And really, when you think about it, this should account for every player who's playing as Kratos running around in this island. So it's not just that they're making one copy, they're making many copies. So when Dr. Doom is this giant cosmic threat who everyone is sort of crapping their pants over, and he's called the ultimate power, no one can mess with him, that accounts for multiple versions of Beerus, of Goku, of Gohan from the superhero movie. That accounts for multiple iterations and copies of the Elder Scrolls Online protagonist and Kratos, multiple versions of Superman. We in fact see this just sort of empirically as well, because with Superman we have the sort of mainline comic book Superman, we have the Golden Age Superman skin, we have the Superman skin from the new movie, we also have Anakin Skywalker as well as Darth Vader. There are many instances where the Fortnite sort of nexus of all realities makes copies of these heroes, multiple versions of them across time, and multiple versions of those versions if you really take into account how you would extrapolate these lore points and clearly what they're suggesting via their creation and how it impacts gameplay. And like I said, you'd have all these characters running around. You'd have multiple versions of the Hulk. You'd have multiple versions of Goku with Ultra Instinct and Kratos and Darth Vader and etc. And they're all jumping Doctor Doom. And the best that they could do is use some of the genius characters on the Marvel side of things who have experience with Doom, right? The best they could do is just BFR him. They were jumping him. They could weaken him just enough to teleport him away, but they didn't knock him out. They didn't kill him. You know, Kratos clearly in his bloodlust, he just is canonically a part of these events, whether you like it or not. He didn't kill Doctor Doom. He couldn't manage that. So if we're going to be asking the question, how does he stack up to 99% of fiction? Then case in point, just look at Fortnite, man.
Yeah. Especially if we're talking about
so
99%
crazy.
of
I was not
characters
expecting him
that
to bring up
people think
Fortnite.
about as well.
It
which
is.
Because, you know, conventionally speaking, most characters are above 99% of fiction that we talk about in power scaling. But if we're just talking about power scaling characters in general, that's a good example. I was curious to ask you, do you think things like other DC characters are considered canon within that game? Now, obviously, I don't think that they're going to have like some agreed shareholder opinion, but it is kind of interesting to think like, would a character like Batman Who Laughs or was Superman or whoever else, do you think that they actually have somewhat canon iterations in the game that could even be like somewhat unintentionally have a canonical battle with Doctor Doom or like a contrast with him?
Yeah, you know what's crazy is there was the Batman Who Laughs character, as you named, and he's sort of the representation of Batman combined with the Joker and represents sort of an
If the Colonel saw the price of a lunch today, he'd have some choice words.
What are your, if you're still there, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Batman Who Laughs? I've seen some people recently say that they don't like him anymore, but I think he's pretty, you know, like a cool, like, Elseworld type of villain type of thing.
Batman with no more.
I do wonder, like, how does this nigga see? And also, like, when he's so skinny. I don't know.
Of course, there's sort of the meme that Batman always wins. He plans for everything, but they kind of took that to heart and personified it through Batman.
Oh, it just makes me wish that Multiverses, the game, would have fucking died. That game had crazy potential for real. But I've never seen a game come out, or I've never seen a game have a beta and then come out and like have a gamma, because the official game was way worse than the beta. Like I've never seen that happen.
Who Laughs, and his creator who wrote this big epic Batman Who Laughs saga, after it sort of concluded, in which case we saw the Batman Who Laughs take over the power from Perpetua, who's the mother of the multiverse, this incalculably powerful god of the DC cosmos, and he also as well outmaneuvered, caught the better of Wally West, who even just alone is a incredibly powerful character, but at the time he was actually amplified by a portion of Dr. Manhattan's abilities. And Dr. Manhattan is sort of similar conceptually to Perpetual. He was someone who was able to reboot the DC metaverse multiple times over, so accounting for various reboots where the entire line, all of these characters from top to bottom, were retconned and reconfigured and rebooted. That was actually revealed to be Dr. Manhattan. And so Batman Who Laughs, this writer, Scott Snyder, was able to, you know, convey these stories in the main DC comics. After that, he wrote a Fortnite Batman crossover comic book, which, you know, has narration bubbles referencing those massive events with Batman Who Laughs at the center of them. And it showcases that villain, that character, going to the Fortnite loop and being like, this is awesome. I can cause as much mayhem as I want forever, right? And so he just is canonically running around by his creator, by the original writer of all these crazy events. He's just stuck in the loop. You know, he loves it. So when you see Doctor Doom becoming this super powerhouse, and we know for a fact that canonically Batman Who Laughs, with all of his abilities and knowledge, he's sort of peak Batman. He's the most lethal, cutthroat, no morals behind Batman, as well as the Joker's intellect combined. He's able to, you know, pull the rug out from under these cosmic DC powerhouses. He didn't do that, right? He didn't steal the power from Pandora's box. He hasn't become some epic god tier boss of the Fortnite, you know, storyline, which we've seen characters like Thanos and Galactus do. by the time Batman Who Laughs shows up, Dr. Doom is the one, calling the shots, running the show, and having everybody, on red alert. So it is crazy impressive. And even like you said, the fact that DC and Marvel, maybe they haven't co-signed so much on this wider narrative, right? Like, I don't think there was any editors getting together and saying, yeah, let's have Dr. Doom, show up the Batman Who Laughs. Let's put our foot down and say that. But currently, DC and Marvel are getting along. They are
speaking of
printing
which,
crossover comics again.
have you seen that cover of the Superman and Spider-Man crossover? They both got the black suits on. That shit's tough.
As we speak, it's been the first time in like over 20 years that they've done so, but they are in handshake agreement, and so it's totally not out of the question that you really have to take that into account. A lot of these factors here people would just sort of maybe scoff at, but really it is comic books. Silly stuff like this happens all the time. There's really no, you heard everything that Chuck said. Are you really going to think that this Fortnite crossover and all this crazy scaling, the Batman Who Laughs, you're going to think that's out of the question? When you really look at it, when you really take all these statements and all of these writer intentions, when you take them at face value, it basically shows that if Dr. Doom wanted to, and maybe he canonically actually has, not only would be he a threat to 99% of fiction, but maybe even that top 1%, right? The remaining, number one, like the Darth Vaders, the Siddiouses, Kratos, Superman, etc. All these characters, multiple versions of them are all running around, and they would be, trying their best to beat Dr. Doom and save the day, and the best they could do is really just BFR him.
Yeah, while jumping him. He'd basically be like a Shonen Jump final boss battle arc for these characters. But yeah, if you guys are interested in more scaling from Doom, you can check out Chuck and Crisis' channel. Crisis has a huge Fortnite breakdown on it in particular if you like the Fortnite stuff. But that being said, I had one more thing I wanted to ask. Now, there's going to be the next Avengers movie. All right, it's going to be Doom today. Do you think that he's going to be like above like Dormammu or Thanos or something like that? Or do you think he's going to be still like kind of below them? Like, how do you think that's going to pan out? Just a little prediction.
Going by like how in Thunderbolts they're like, wanking off Sentry, they're like, oh, he's stronger than every Avenger combined, which would include Thor, Captain Marvel, right? There's also like another statement that I think he's like literally does have the power, but that was an exploding sun. It's like, it's like a downplayed version of the comic. I think in the comic it's like 1 billion, but either way, that's still pretty okay. But now we're getting into that ballpark where it's like, oh yeah, like these.
I do want to know what's been going on with Dormammu, but like the way Doctor Strange 2
like
ended,
standard because they need to be that.
What's up with that?
Everyone's gonna get power ups. So Franklin Richards is literally super OP already. He's like a little kid. If he fights Doctor Doom when it's like a young kid, or it's like a teenager even, then he'll they definitely show some infinite power, right? Yeah, that's what Galactus said as well. And now, whether it'll be like Infinity Ultron level from What If, it should logically be even greater than what Kang was going to do and Infinity Ultron anyways, because just the Kang variants were already causing like a lot of these timelines to die out. Narratively speaking, Kang is supposed to be like Thanos on like an even grander scale, right? And then Doctor Doom just like is supposed to be above that.
If he's ever stated to be like the most greatest threat they've faced so far, or like the final threat or something, you might be able to just kind of like default him above things like the Infinity Gauntlet or Dormammu as like a threat gauge. But yeah, or even the Kang, stuff like that. But
here's how I use Asana to hand off my busy work. I use Asana AI to create a first draft.
Another thing I'd say too is it'll be really hard for the Avengers, especially because they've never faced like someone that combines technology and magic, right? It's either one or the other or something completely different.
That's a good point.
With Thanos, we actually have some evidence that is exactly what they're going for, because there was a recent Disney convention where they were sort of showing off or teasing elements of the upcoming Avengers movie. And we straight up do see that skeleton pull. We don't know if it's Thanos exactly for sure, but we see Doctor Doom he's holding someone's severed head and spine. So
it's very obvious iconography.
It's obvious iconography, and the inspiration we already know is 100% going to be Marvel's 2015 Secret Wars, which is the name of the upcoming movie, the second of these upcoming Avengers movies, and that is the storyline in which Doctor Doom becomes God Emperor Doom. He gets the power of a Beyonder, reshapes the entire Marvel cosmos more or less, and does totally just one-shot and humble Thanos. So, I mean, the odds are they're going to say he's the most powerful villain they ever faced, especially
I think he should be
Loki,
too.
The Loki show, how that ended, and we see that character basically holding the entire multiverse together. Now, I would probably say that is just beyond Dormammu. I think Dormammu is probably contained within the multiverse. At least, you know, the Dark Dimension is a collection of multiple universes that Dormammu personifies in the MCU lore. So, infinite multiverses, more or less, is what Loki would be containing. And I think most people would probably assume that Doom is going to steal that power or be a threat to it. So no, absolutely. I think Doom's stocks are only going to get higher. I mean, they brought back RDJ for a reason. He is more or less the ultimate hero of the MCU. Maybe not in terms of sheer raw power, but if they're going to make him a villainous threat, he's going to have to put in the work against the X-Men, all the Spider-Man, multiple versions of the Avengers, Loki. No, I think it basically is a foregone conclusion at this point that Doom will be the ultimate MCU villain by the time that Doomsday and Secret Wars come out.
Yeah, so, you know, it is a live action version, so he's not going to be as crazy as his comics, but it's very fitting, actually, for him to be such a big threat. It's actually very fitting with our video, actually, because we planned this before I even thought about the Avengers Doom movie. But that being said, I really, really would love if you guys subscribe to me and to these two here. If you want more stuff on Marvel and DC, I'm going to host more collabs like this on my channel with various creators, so look forward to that.
Cool. Shout out set the programmer. Yeah, I don't think that, like, I kind of agree with, like, if Doctor Doom, he's always going to strive to get, like, you know, more power, right? So whatever verse or whatever thing he's in, if there's something that's going to make him the most powerful in that verse, I do think he'll end up getting it somehow, some way, shape, or form as a Doctor Doom. But I think, do I think he can hang with Goku and these or some other niggas in these? No, I don't think he got like that. But yeah, I do think he is I do think he is, you know, like that. I think he could, if there is like power to grab, Doctor Doom gonna grab it. You gonna grab it. You gonna reach back like goddamn Odell Beckham and catch that shit. But let's see what else do I got that we want to react to. We got another sensible saying about who has the best fight career, who has the best fight career in DBZ, or we also got the absolute Batman. Before I do that, though, I am kind of hungry. So let me see. Mm-mm. I think it's stream delay, but yeah. Well, let me see. Yada 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 yada. Is that on the normal one too? Is that on the normal one too? I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can fix it real quick. Well, it kind of fixed itself one time. It says it's good. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can fix it real quick. Well, it kind of fixed itself. It says it's. No, let me see. What? No, that's straight. Boom, 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 boom. What? It is a little delayed. I don't know why they keep doing that on their shorts for whatever reason. I don't know why though. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know how I can like. I don't know why it's doing that. In the normal stream, it's normal. I don't know why it's doing that. Maybe if I bam and then I bam, we'll fix it. So now let me see. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let me see. One, two, three, 4. I don't know why it's doing it. I think it's just the shorts thing. It's like, well, I am streaming on 2 different things. That also might be issue. But let's see what we got. Who has the better fight career, Goku or Vegeta, or Absolute Batman? Which one do I want to react to? Or real quick, see, is there any other news drop before calling it a day on that? Yeah, no one cares about Silent Hill. No one cares about Silent Hill or let's see, Harry Potter. I don't care about that either. Twitter might have some. Let's see. Power Rangers. Um, this is crazy. This is insane. This is insane. This is this is insane. I'm gonna save that. Close your eyes, JJ, in case you see some Game of Thrones spoilers. Uh, 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 let me tell you something. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Let's discuss some film vibes and stuff. Nope. Not really. Kelly Kennedy gives an update on the future of Star Wars. James, no one cares. Star Wars, step it up. What is going on? Oh, this is stop motion. I was like, why is this nigga like having a seat? Like he's like crumping but having a Caesar. Okay, anyway. So let's see. Goku or some kind of hungry though. Low-key, my worst bit. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I gotta reopen the chats. Okay, so some stuff in there. I'll make some. It's not even new stuff in there. So good. I'm hungry. I gotta order some food. But let's see. Which one should I watch first? I would see. I would do like a ooh foo foo or something like that, but niggas canceled my stream last time. last time I did one, so I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if I should do that right there. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So I'm thinking, let's watch this. That's a 40-minute. And
We're
why
gonna
this
be
is
breaking
playing?
down Goku.
Let's look at spoilers for Dragon Ball. And if I don't want JJ to know. Whatever, I don't need Yes, young Daryl have been live for almost 3 hours. I am sorry. Okay, let's save this for later. Let's save this for later. Is there anything else I wanted to watch? For real, for real? I'll save this for when... Bruh. Yeah, nigga, that jacket... nigga, that jacket... I cannot believe I did that. I'm like... I messaged that nigga on Instagram and Twitter, but I just have to wait to see if he responds. That's crazy that I did that. I cannot believe... Like, I don't even know who could even wear that jacket. I don't even know who could even wear that jacket. That's the other thing. So yeah, you're in the shorts one. There's also like a regular one, whichever one you prefer watching. But I cannot believe I did that with that jacket. That was that's crazy. That was crazy that I did that. I was like, bro, what? I was like, ain't no way. I was like, ain't no way. Like, nigga. I was just sorry on my behalf. I was just sorry on my behalf. I can't even. But the crazy thing is, I swear that I made sure I didn't do that. That's what's crazy to me. Because I almost did that. And then I was like, let me make sure I don't do that. So I don't know. Oh yeah, JJ, my friend wants me to watch my friend wants me to watch One Piece. Or my shouldn't go his last moment, email them run away. Nigga, I didn't even notice because I just assumed that I didn't do it because when I ordered it, I just assumed I didn't do it because I caught myself from doing it. The only thing I think of was maybe it was 2 of them in there or something. And then I thought, I don't know, but I swear I looked at that and made sure I didn't do it, and then I did it. Because at first I was like, didn't he just send me the wrong thing? Oh, that's crazy. But no. Yeah, nigga, this is like, nigga, this is this is like, I don't even know who could wear this. Like, it's just like, bruh, that's crazy. That was so crazy. I was like, ain't no way. That sucks. No, no, I didn't. And I indeed did. I I indeed did. Oh yeah, I don't know if you probably missed it earlier, Daryl, but this nigga from this white nigga from Meet the Titan or Remember the Titan, Remember the Titans. Yeah, I gotta put it on Coco. This nigga from Remember the Titans, he's gonna be the new Kratos in the live action God of War show, and he was voiced Thor in the game of the God of War games. Shout out my forget his name. I cannot believe I did that though. I really hope that nigga messaged me back. Me back, bro. Cause I was like, bro, can I exchange? I was like, I understand if I like give it, can I like exchange it for an extra large one if you got one or something, nigga? Cause golly. I was like, yo. I'm like, nigga. I was like, I cannot believe I did that. Loki, well, I'm just gonna watch actually I am gonna watch the one and JJ just have to be spoiled. You're still in here, sorry. Or just don't watch it for like 40 minutes.
We're gonna be breaking down Goku and
Hold
Vegeta.
Hold on. So this is who had the better fight career based on like, like this you probably weren't here for the earlier part of the stream either, but this is like this nigga be breaking down yeah, Gary yeah. But he be breaking down like anime fights, like the UFC fights. It's pretty dope. I watched this one on stream earlier.
Vegeta's entire DBZ fight careers to finally answer the question, who had the better resume and by how much? Now you might be thinking, oh, you can just look up their win-loss records. But nah, those lists are trash. Some fights are missing and others make no sense. You're telling me Goku and Vegeta's 1v1 isn't on there, but all 3 of Frieza's transformations are going to be counted as separate losses for Vegeta? They even gave him a loss to Trunks for getting hit with the Ki Blast? Really? And for Goku, they counted his sacrifice as a second loss to Cell. Bro, these aren't even fights. Anyways, I'm not just going to be rebuilding the records. I'm going to be ranking every fight based on who they fought and how they performed. Because a win against Frieza should not carry the same weight as wins against Pterodactyl, police officers, and mustache strongman.
Police officer.
Is that guy?
Speaking of those tomato cans, I'm not counting Goku's OG Dragon Ball run. It wouldn't be fair since we never saw Vegeta's pre-DBZ record, even though we know he was out there saucing up entire species, so we're just gonna call out their amateur records, and DBZ is when they turn pro. Alright, here's how it's gonna work. We're gonna be ranking each fight using 3 criteria: the opponent level, the performance, and the context adjuster. Opponent level is scored out of 10, and the scale resets after each saga. I'm not ranking across the whole show because that would make every fight outside of the Buu saga feel worthless. For example, you'd never rate Goku's win against Frieza lower than his win against Yakon. That's goofy as hell, even though Yakon's technically stronger. That's not how we see these fights, and that's not how the Z fighters saw them either. I do think there should be some inflation from saga to saga, so we'll bump it up by half a point each time. So the max score is 10 for the Saiyan saga, 10.5 for Namek, 11 for the Android saga, and 11.5 for the Buu saga. I feel like that keeps the integrity of the older fights while still respecting the power creep. Fair enough? Alright, performance is
rocking that nigga Kid Buu shit.
How good they looked. Max score is always going to be 10. And finally, the context adjuster. This one's important because fights in DBZ aren't always clean.
Hold on, Daryl. Who would you say is stronger? Like Kid Buu, like you know, Demon Time Kid Buu, or like Super Buu, or do you think Kid Buu is the strongest version of Buu? I'm curious to see what you think. You say you don't? Yeah, some niggas think he's the strongest. He's the strongest nigga because he was the last nigga, but he can't be. Yeah, he's most dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like illogical, crash out. Don't care. You know what I'm saying? But one you probably don't want to fight. But he's just narratively he can't be the strongest nigga because you know, it just doesn't make sense. Like that, like if they would have jumped him, they would probably beat him easier. Like they could have Goku could have teleported to Earth, grabbed Gohan when they risked everybody back before, teleported to Earth, grabbed Gohan, came back, and they all could have jumped him. They could have grabbed Piccolo. They could have grabbed a few niggas. They could have just all jumped him. They probably been able to go. Especially Gohan. I think Gohan would have done something to that nigga. Yeah, for real. But yeah, he's not. I don't think so. But a lot of people think he is for some reason. Because you can't tell me Kid Buu is stronger than Super Buu when he absorbed Gohan, Piccolo, and Gotenks. You just know it like that if using it. That nigga. Like Goku and Vegeta, or Goku didn't even want to fight any other Buu besides that Buu and like Fat Buu. He was like trying to actively avoid fighting them niggas. Or fighting that nigga. Well, I guess I can get a thing. Sorry, I'm ordering food. Bam. Is that it? Nothing more? Okay, fuck it. That's good. But yeah, I don't think that nigga. I don't think he can do that. I don't think he's like that. Some people, I've seen people like try to argue that he is because all these niggas just got stronger and out of nowhere. I don't know. But I just don't think he is. Because, nah. Nah. I'm starving, by the way. Some of the orange food. Chicken. Thanks. I would not like to round up. I would not like to round up for St. Jude. Sorry. Sorry. Okay. Cool. Okay, let's
Goku
continue
scores an
video.
8 for performance, but it turns out it was a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-1. I have to raise or drop that score to reflect it. Or let's say he was fighting someone who's a 10, but they were sandbagging or limited in the fight. I might lower the opponent level to a 7. After adjustments, I'll average the two main numbers for an overall fight score. Simple. Alright, I'm gonna throw on the Red Scouter, so let's get into it, starting with Goku's fights from the Saiyan side. First up is Goku versus Raditz, and I'm not talking about the fight where he fought alongside Piccolo. I'm talking when Raditz first pulled up to the planet. For level, I'm going to give Raditz a 5.5. He's pretty middle of the road for the Saiyan saga. Even after the year-long training, he was still relatively in the same league as Z Fighter, so I feel like 5.5 is good. But
that nigga showed up, he only been hitting his legs.
And give him an extra
quads,
point,
especially
bumping him up to an overall of 6.5. And I'm doing this because this is before the Z Fighters got a chance to train a year for the Saiyans. He blindsided them, they were unprepared, and the audience perception of Raditz was that he was this 10 out of 10 fighter because before he showed up, Goku and Piccolo were the best we've ever seen by far. I feel like this was a special case and his level should kind of reflect that. As for performance, worst performance maybe of Goku's entire career. Goku got one-shotted. Yeah, if he didn't have the weights on, maybe he doesn't get one-shotted like this, but it is what it is. This is Goku's worst performance.
You know what else John Cena wouldn't have done? Or would have done?
A 3.75.
He would never have tapped
out. I
didn't
say this in the intro, but for losses, I'm going to be reducing the score by a third or 33%. So
I don't know what John Cena wouldn't do anymore.
It's going to be 2.51. I was going to reduce the score in half for a loss, but part of the lower score is already reflected in the point value the fighter gets in the performance field. So I feel like that was kind of overkill. A third seems just about right. And if the fight is a draw, I'm going to reduce it only by 15% because I don't want to penalize you too much for a draw. All right, next fight is again versus Raditz.
Made him move his brother than Raditz.
Goku with the help of Piccolo and Gohan.
Nigga Raditz died.
As a 5.5 for level.
Nigga Raditz is dead, so they didn't care about bringing the nigga back.
Him up by 1 point with the context adjuster to give him.
They decided to bring that nigga back at all.
As for performance, Goku definitely did
yeah, you're right, because Vegeta has a brother too, but he's not even dead. They just don't care about that nigga.
Curve.
What?
Had Raditz sweating a little bit. Still got cooked in the hands department though. Any leg.
Yeah, Raditz Vegeta brother named Tarble. He ain't dead. They just don't care about that nigga. He showed up one time like a special thing. I ain't seen the nigga since. He got like an alien wife. She had like tentacles or something. I don't know, but he just don't care about that nigga. He don't care about that nigga, which is funny.
Go Raditz's tail, which dings him a point, but he was pivotal in beating him. So I'm gonna give him a 5.5 for performance. But we're going to use the context adjuster and drop that performance score by 2 points, bringing it down.
Raditz and Nappa gotta feel salty because they like the only Saiyan niggas that we like know that just didn't get like a lot of like development. Because Broly's dad, Goku's dad in the manga. I guess Vegeta's dad didn't really get any kind of either, but still
3.5 because I mean he got a lot of help in this fight. If it wasn't for Piccolo and Gohan, he's deep fried. He's barbecue, bro. He's finished. Gohan's overall score is going to.
And Raditz was stunned on them niggas.
Fight. But remember, this wasn't a win for Goku. This was actually a draw. You could say it's a win for Piccolo, but Goku had to die in order for Raditz to die. So for him, it's a draw. We're gonna take 15% away of the average.
He looks like a little Vegeta.
So Goku's left with.
He looks like his brother. He looks like a little Vegeta. His name is Tarble. Tarble. This is him right here, like a little Vegeta, and yeah, like, and he's like super weak too. And I guess technically he's canon, but niggas don't even like there's like no information about him. Like they don't even, like any of the flashbacks where they see like it just I don't know. But yeah, he's just like a little Vegeta. He showed up and like, and it was like I don't know if you can see, but he showed up that yeah ball. Well, actually, Loki Nappa had hair in like in the Bardock movie, the old one. Nigga had hair. Yeah, yeah, like a little like yeah, a little bit. He had a little bit up there. He had a little bit on him. Yeah, he does look like Vegeta from Dom. Yeah, a little bit of yeah, something. Yeah, a little bit of hair. Is this from the movie? Because if he was from the movie, he had hair though. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little tough up there. He said, "I'm going bald. I'm coming home." But yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
With a total score of 4.25 for his second fight in the Saiyan Saga. Okay, so his next fight is after the King Kai training, when he pulls up in the battlefield and fights Nappa. Listen, Nappa was super elite for the saga. Like, he was just coming off beating basically
that nigga Nappa was Brock Lesnar to them niggas.
Brutal fashion. Only had a couple of little hiccups along the way. I'm gonna give him an 8 for level. He was him, bro. He was him in the saga. And as for Goku's performance, he went from one of his worst performances of all time at the start of the arc to one of his very best with Nappa. And against much
I said earlier,
competition. Dude,
there's two niggas you don't want to know who is stronger than you. That is Goku and Gohan, because them niggas will get extra disrespectful. Extra disrespectful. Them niggas will start doing stuff you just unnecessarily.
I'm gonna get
Gohan gonna punch your stomach to the back of your spine. Those are gonna step on your head or something crazy like that.
Give him a 9.5 for this performance. I think it was almost perfect, but Nappa did start giving him some good resistance. Still though, amazing. One of the best performances, not just from Goku in the entire show in general. The pull-up against Nappa was phenomenal. All right, now moving to the flagship fight of the saga. This was the main fight of the saga.
Hey, if you ask me,
Vegeta.
Vegeta won this fight, nigga. They had to jump him. I don't care. If Gohan and Krillin didn't come back and Yadro was in there, that nigga Goku loses that fight.
And bro, no question, no ifs, ands, or buts. Vegeta gets a 10 for level. I've had so many people in the comments. I don't get how they're hating on him so much. Bro, you can't deny he was the one in the Saiyan Saga. 10 out of 10. Goku, his performance here, definitely not as good as the Nappa one. It was mixed, okay? He had some very high highs, and he had some very low lows. The Kaioken ×3 beatdown was legendary work, and winning the beam struggle too. But he was only able to do that by completely overclocking and wrecking his body. And then he got absolutely annihilated by Grade 8 Vegeta. Didn't give up though, and really just did, I mean, almost as good as you possibly can do despite, you know, the overwhelming obstacle he had in front of him. I'm going to give him a 7.5 for performance. This was a very solid performance from Goku, despite taking the loss. So the average score is going to be 8.75. Since he did lose this fight, it's going to drop him down to a 5.25. And then we go to Goku's final fight in the saga. It was again against Vegeta, but this time it was with the help of Gohan, Krillin, and Yajirobe. As we established, Vegeta is a 10 out of 10 for level, but I am going to use the context adjuster and drop his level by 1 point because he was fighting a battle-worn Vegeta, which would bring him down to a 9, which I think is solid because this version of Vegeta still would have clapped Nappa, so 9 out of 10 seems solid. For performance, it's funny for performance. Goku was crippled and he didn't throw a punch, but he still played such a big role in beating Vegeta. He was the coach, he was the hype man, and yeah, he wasn't the one to throw the spirit bomb at Vegeta, which was a huge contributor to his loss, but it was still his energy that he generated earlier. So I'm gonna give him a 4 for his performance, and I feel like that's fair given the fact that he didn't throw a single punch. I don't think you can give him too much more than that, and I am gonna drop the score by 2.5 points to adjust for the immense amount of help that he had in this fight. I mean, it wasn't the fact that Vegeta just had to fight 3 other people. It was the fact that one of them was his tail regenerated in the middle of the fight. There was leftover spirit bomb from the last fight, and he had to deal with somebody who he didn't even know Yajirobe was part of the fight, and bro pulled up on him. And bro pulled up on him twice. Dude, the second time Vegeta was heated, bro. Remember Yajirobe was like leaning back, kind of pointing at him, and he just looked just obese, just just pointing the finger at his face, laughing. Whatever. That's neither here nor there. Goku's total score for this fight is 5.25. So he has 2 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw in the Saiyan Saga. All right, let's take a look at Vegeta's record in the Saiyan Saga. First opponent for him, again, is going to be Goku. And listen, just like I gave Vegeta a 10 out of 10, I'm going to give Goku a 10 for his level. Even though Vegeta was better, I definitely still put Goku in that same league. Yeah, his base power wasn't up to par, but he had such a deep bag of weapons with the Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, that he could use to more than level the playing field. He's in the same league. He gets a 10. As far as performance, same thing as the Goku fight. Vegeta had very high highs and very low lows. He was toying with him before the Kaioken, then got dog walked, lost the beam struggle, but then crushed him with the Ozaru, which he might not have even needed, to be fair, because Goku was deep fried after pushing his body to Kaioken times 4. I'm going to give him the same score as Goku. I'm going to give him a 7.5, which this is going to bring his overall score to an 8.75, and he won the fight, so he gets to keep the full score. Very strong start here for Vegeta. His next fight, again, it was against Goku, but this time it was also against Gohan, Krillin, and Yajirobe. So it was 1 versus 4. For level, the best fighter in their team is at 6, but I'm going to use the context adjuster and increase the level by 3 points, bring it up to 9, because Vegeta is dealing with, like I said before, Vegeta was dealing with so many different opponents, unknown elements, the sneak attack, everything I said from Goku's perspective just a minute ago. As far as his performance, I'm going to give him a 6, because as impressive as his durability and tenacity was, he just made a lot of mistakes, from underestimating his opponents and just letting his anger get the better of him. I feel like if he just really put the pride to the side and accepted that, like, yeah, he's facing adversity from these, people that are beneath him. If he just kind of accepted that, he would have done a lot better, and he might have even won the fight. So overall, his score is a 7.5, but of course he lost the fight, so the total score is going to be 5.03. And his record for the Saiyan Saga is 1 win and 1 loss. Alright, now we're going into the Namek Saga, and we're going to swing back around to Goku. Actually, you know what? Let's stay with Vegeta here, because he had like 4 or 5 fights before Goku even pulled up to the planet. Alright, so Vegeta's first opponent on Namek was Kui, and look, man, I give him a 4.5 for level. It's crazy how he's as strong as Vegeta was in base last arc, but now he's middle of the road at best for this arc. Honestly, if we're just talking strictly power and ranking in the Frieza Force, I feel like he is a little underrated, because the only people above him are the Ginyu Force and Zarbon and the Doria. Everybody else in Frieza's army he clears, but he's such a coward, bro. He's a track star. I'm gonna give him a 4.5. Vegeta's performance was basically perfect, but I'm gonna give him a 9.5, just because he almost fell for the oldest trick in the book. He's like, look, Frieza's here, and dude actually turned around. I'm gonna give him a 9.5 just for that. Bringing Vegeta's overall score for this fight, a 7. Next up is Dodoria. Same logic as Kui. I was going to give Dodoria a 5.5, but I ended up giving him a 5 for level, just because it's the same thing. He's just another coward track star. For performance, this was insane, because technically he should be able to give at least a decent fight to Vegeta, because their power levels were actually so close to even, but he's such a coward. He wouldn't even consider fighting a guy slightly stronger than him. He had to know Vegeta was levels above him in skill. This is a perfect performance from Vegeta. It was a 10 out of 10, but maybe this is going to be the most controversial use of the context adjuster. Is I'm going to drop his performance score by half a point, just because, and I know this isn't fair to Vegeta, but Dodoria barely trying and just running away right off rip, it does make this 10 a little less impressive that his opponent didn't even come close to going out on his shield. I don't know, I can already tell this one's going to be a controversial call. Bro, I can hear you typing. Stop it. Guys, this ain't easy. You try to make the perfect rankings. I guarantee you won't. It's a lot of tough calls. Still, Vegeta's gonna get an over.
I'll be back. Hold on. There you go. I'll be back. Listen to this.
on my phone anymore, cause I'm starting to fear it. And I feel myself around you right now, baby. No, 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 no. Some things are better left unsaid, babe. I'm with the pretending. And I don't feel nothing else that I ain't said just yet. Leave me alone, I got myself straight now.
Overall score of 7.25 for a second win in the saga. Next up, we got Vegeta versus Zarbon. And Zarbon, I actually think he's super underrated. Dude was a dog, and he was a solid fighter too. Check out that breakdown video I did. You'll see he was actually pretty legit. I'm gonna give him a 6 for score. As for performance, man, Vegeta was having his way with him before he transformed, and even got a couple of good shots in against Monster Zarbon, but he couldn't handle the power and the overwhelming pressure. Still a pretty impressive display of his grit, so I'm going to give him a 4.5 for this performance. And it's going to bring his average score to 5.25. Of course, he lost this fight, so his total score sits at 3.52 for the Zarbon fight. Next up is the Zarbon rematch. Again, Zarbon's a 6. And this time though, Vegeta showed that when you put them on the same playing field, he's the much more talented fighter. He destroyed Zarbon in this fight. Definitely not a perfect performance, and some of the dominance was the result of the pocket sand that he threw at him, but it makes sense. He had to get rid of Zarbon quick so that Krillin and Bulma wouldn't escape, and he was willing to fight dirty to do so. He was winning this fight 10 out of 10 times regardless. I'm going to give him an 8 for performance for this one. Very solid. And that brings his overall score to a 7. Next up is Vegeta's fight against Recoome.
Oh my god.
Listen. I'm going to give Recoome a 6.5 for level. He was definitely a cut above Zarbon. I could see if you want to give him a 7, but I think I'm comfortable with the 6.5. For his performance, Vegeta was an absolute dog in this fight. He showed his toughness, creativity, tenacity.
Nigga planted him though.
Was just simply too much for him. I give him a 5.5. That brings his average to a 6, and he lost this one, so it's going to bring him down to a 4.02. Next fight was against Jace, who, same as Recoome. I want to say Recoome, Jace, and Bird were all 6.5s. Which one was strongest between them? I don't know, but they're all in the same tier. But this was one of the weirder performances in the show. Jace looked like he could somewhat compete with Vegeta, who's supposed to be stronger than the Goku who humiliated Birder and Jace combined. He actually got caught with a pretty good shot in this fight too, but then he just destroys him in one of my favorite finishes of the show. Vegeta, no! With his Australian accent, bro. Nah, I'm giving Vegeta an 8 for performance. It was solid. So Vegeta's overall score for this fight is a 7.25. Alright, now we got the fight against Captain Ginyu, but this was not a solo fight. This was Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, and Krillin versus Captain Ginyu. Even though Gohan and Krillin didn't really contribute to, once Vegeta pulled up, they were out of the equation. I'm giving Ginyu an 8 for his level, but I'm using the context adjuster to drop his score by 2 points, adjusting him to a 6. Just because this wasn't like vintage Ginyu. This was Ginyu in Goku's body where he was unable to max out his power. Vegeta's gonna get a 9 for performance because he just completely took over what was supposed to be a group fight and annihilated Ginyu. But I will be docking him 2 points for his performance though, because without Goku's help throwing the frog, he would have gotten his body stolen. Wait, didn't Goku, hold up, didn't Goku save him twice? Because he switched bodies with them once to get his body back, and the second time,
no, Vegeta wasn't
the
really,
frog, right?
What are we thinking?
Should I drop him more?
I wonder, could they see the change now being?
It is what it is.
Because he was
That
applying
brings his
territory on
performance
shit.
to a
Like,
7, and his overall score for this fight, since he won it, is going to be a 6.5. All right, next up is the Frieza fight.
oh my god.
I didn't split this up into like 37.5 different fights like the Dragon Ball Guru website did, but I'm gonna split the Frieza fight up into 2 battles. So this is the first one, is the group battle where it was Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin versus Frieza in his first and second form. That I count as one group battle before Piccolo pulled up and it turned into a 1v1, right? And then he didn't really even fight Frieza in his third form, and then he did fight him in the final form, obviously 1v1. But this one is just like I said, first and second form. Frieza gets a 10.5 for level, max score for the saga, obviously. But I am going to drop him 1.5 points because obviously this is a much weaker version of Frieza than him at his best, right? For performance, this one's kind of rough for Vegeta. By the way, sorry if I sound different. I think I got some Goku yard rat AIDS or something like that. My voice is kind of, I don't know. This one was tough. He did have a very impressive showing against Frieza's first form, but he crumbled when he transformed. Barely even tried to fight, aside from a ki blast to the back that did nothing. This is actually, honestly, to me, this is actually the worst Vegeta's ever looked, man. He really went out sorry against Frieza here. You had guys much weaker than him like Krillin and Dende who made a lot more of an impact against second form Frieza than he did. He was just so gun shy. I think the lifelong fear of Frieza, just his aura, he must have had PTSD or something. I'll give him a 4 overall for
maybe nigga didn't know he could transform and transform into that.
Just feel like I have a frog in my throat. No Ginyu. But I'm gonna be dropping him down a 1.5 because of all the help he got, bringing him down to a 2.5 for performance. His average score is 5.75, and he lost the fight, so that brings him down to a 3.85. That's tough. My bad, guys. I accidentally skipped this one on my original voice recording. Vegeta's fight against Final Form Frieza, I gave him a 10.5 for level, obviously, but I dropped him by half a point for sandbagging like crazy. Performance-wise, this was Vegeta's worst loss ever, I think. I'm going to give him a 2.5 though, only because he saved Gohan from the death beam, and he made Frieza really have to lock in to bounce his final ki blast back. If you had it lowered though, I get it. Vegeta's record in the Namek saga is 5 wins and 4 losses. Alright, let's move over to Goku's record on Namek. Goku starts Namek off strong with the fight against Recoome. Like we established, he's a 6.5, and listen, flawless performance from Goku. He easily gets a 10 for this, just one-shotted him and didn't get touched once. This was actually a lot like the Nappa fight, except his performance was better, but the opponent was worse. Again, relatively worse. Obviously, Recoome is better than Nappa, but I'm just saying relative to their saga, which is how I'm scoring the opponent level, which I already mentioned that, so. Goku's gonna get an overall score of 8.25 for this win. His next opponent is the combo of Birder and Jace.
The fastest in the universe.
6.5, but since there's 2 of them, I'm gonna bump them up by half a point, so they get a 7. Another absolutely flawless performance for Goku here, even better than the last one. He gets a 10. Namek Goku.
I think it's the shorts stream that be doing that. I don't know why. I've been doing that since I've been streaming, but like, I think it's gonna be fake now. There's also a regular version of it that you can watch if you don't want to watch it in like the shorts format. I can send it to you. Yeah.
Goku was different, especially when he first pulled up. They had so many opportunities to land on him, and they just couldn't even touch him. This is one of the most humiliating losses in the show. Goku's overall score for this fight is an 8.5. Next up is Goku's fight with Captain Ginyu. Ginyu being the second most powerful villain in the arc, he's an 8 out of 10. Solid power and very dangerous ability too. For performance, man, he underperformed for this one, and it was all his fault. Super avoidable. He pretty much went 50-50 with Ginyu before using the Kaioken, but his performance drops a lot because of his poor judgment. His overconfidence and inability to pull the trigger really ruined him in this one. He could have had another Hall of Fame performance like he did his last 2 fights, but he just screwed it up. DBC characters and fumbling the bag, name a more iconic duo. I'm going to give Goku a 6.5 for this one, bringing his average to a 7.25. Of course, he lost this fight, so brings him down to a 4.86 overall. Okay, next fight is again against Ginyu, this time with the help of Vegeta, Gohan, and Krillin, but really just Vegeta. Ginyu's level is an 8, but he's getting dropped 2 points because it was a much weaker version of Ginyu in Goku's body, so his overall is a 6. For performance, I'm actually giving Goku an 8 for performance. He didn't really throw a punch, but this was so impressive for me because despite being in such dire conditions, he was so clutch in this one. Got his body back and saved Vegeta from the body change. The literal opposite of the bag fumbling from the last fight. But I'm dropping that 8 down by 2 points, down to a 6, because he obviously had help from Vegeta, who's the muscle. Without him, none of it would have been possible. So he gets a 6 for performance, and that's going to bring Goku's overall score for this win a 6. Okay, so Goku's next opponent is Frieza. And yes, I'm splitting this fight up into 2 separate fights. Base and Super Saiyan Goku versus Frieza. If you saw the fight analysis videos I made, you already know. These two felt like separate fights, and they kind of were, because what was supposed to be a 1v1 turned into a gauntlet battle with Piccolo, Gohan, and Krillin jumping Frieza and saving Goku countless times. So I had him losing by disqualification.
Mm-hmm.
And then rematching Frieza as a Super Saiyan. So Goku and Base versus Frieza. Frieza, again, he's the pinnacle as far as level goes in this arc. He gets a 10.5. But I am going to be dropping him down by half a point because Frieza only got up to 50% of his power in this fight, so he was sandbagging, bringing him down to a 10. Goku performed about as well as anybody could have conceivably done against Frieza at this time, barring a miracle. And even though he was getting absolutely destroyed, just the fact that he was holding his own and had some really impressive moments too, despite the giant power gap. I'm going to give Goku a 6 for performance. That brings his average score to an 8. And of course he lost this one, so that drops it down to a 5.36. And his next opponent, again being Frieza, this time he gets the full mark, 10.5, no reductions. Because this is Frieza at 100%. For performance, look, in my opinion, this is the single best win in DBZ history. Bro, this one is still talked about among the Z fighters in later arcs. Frieza put up a great fight and showed his insane talent, but Goku kept chipping away at him and had elite composure, proved that he was superior. The way he had the most powerful being in the universe physically and mentally broken in the championship rounds was beyond impressive. It wasn't perfect, but I'm giving that performance an 8.5. And I'm actually going to use the context adjuster here to give an extra point to Goku because of, number one, just the sheer importance of the fight. And the fact that he was cool as a cucumber under insane conditions. Dude, the pressure he must have felt knowing that the planet was going to blow up and that he was the last hope, not just for his planet or his race, but for countless civilizations. Yeah, enough said. +1, he gets an adjusted score of 9.5 for his performance. His overall score for this fight is a 10 out of 10, and he won the fight, so he keeps that full score. Best win in the series, period. Goku's record in the Namek Saga is 4 wins and 2 losses. Alright, we're sticking with Goku and covering his Android Saga battles now. First up is his fight against Android 19, and for level, I'm going to give 19 a 6.5. He was a little bit better than middle of the road, but definitely not an elite opponent. I feel like that's fair. You know what I mean? Like Raccoon level. Because last arc I gave Raccoon a 6.5. So for the Android Saga, 19 is probably the Raccoon equivalent. Obviously, this is the fight where Goku got the heart virus. But I think he still had a slim chance to win it, even with the heart virus. I mentioned it in my analysis video.
I wonder who like is actually stronger at this point, like Goku without the heart virus and like Super Saiyan Vegeta. Because it depends on their base form, right? So I don't know. That'd have been a cool ass fight to see. I don't know. Because granted, Goku did struggle with Android 19, but had the heart virus. So, so it's like I don't know. It's weird because Vegeta put BTA to that nigga, and then actually I think he was stronger. I think Piccolo said he was stronger. I think. I don't know.
Fight, but there was a moment where Jiro was like, oh, if 19 doesn't find an opportunity to absorb some energy soon, he's gonna start to malfunction. Yeah, it just wasn't vintage Goku, man. I'm gonna give him a 5 for his performance. His decision making wasn't the same, but of course, I am gonna use the context adjuster. Before you get your pitchforks up, I'm gonna adjust his performance by 1.5 points because his performance was a lot more impressive in mind given the fact that he had the heart virus. So he gets a 6.5. Average score is a 6.5, but he lost it, so it brings him down to a 4.36. His next fight in the saga, we're jumping all the way to Perfect Cell.
Beat the game with
This
his
man gets
sandwich.
a 10.5 for level. First 10.5 since Frieza at his peak. And I'm giving Goku a 7.5 for his performance in this fight. Beautiful display of skills from both fighters. Goku was at the absolute top of his game, going toe-to-toe with a more powerful, highly skilled, generational great like Cell. Even blew off his top half with the Warp Kamehameha. I will say though, Goku's got a great PR team because he was starting to look bad as he was gassing. And had he not quit, the perception of his performance wouldn't have been as good because you would have seen him getting pummeled. Still though, fantastic work, 7.5, giving him an average score of 9, and since he lost, an overall score of 6.03. Probably the highest score anybody's gonna get for a loss. Next opponent is the Cell Jr. For level, I'm giving them a 9.5. I could see the argument for
And they
a
was some
level
crash
of
outs
10
too.
just power-wise, but since they're
There was some
minion type
high-ends for sure.
characters and they don't have Cell's regen, I'm gonna drop them a little bit on points for that. And man, as for the performance, I know Goku was tired from his fight with Cell, but at this point, he had time to catch his breath, get back some of the energy he lost. So
The Cell
honestly,
Juniors are
expecting
about
a
as strong
little
as
bit better
Cell.
performance. I guess that just goes to show how hard he was redlining his body to keep up with Cell in the last match. But he did really bad. That was an abysmal performance. I'm gonna give him a 1.5, but I am gonna give him an extra 1.5 because he wasn't even close to his best. But still, I wanted to see a little bit more. He gets a 3 overall.
I'm probably
for
gonna get off
performance.
stream after this video,
Scores
though.
averaged out to 6.25. With the loss, drops down to a 4.19. Final fight for Goku in the saga is against Super Perfect Cell, who's getting a perfect score of 11 for the
They were
arc.
doing,
And this was
the Cell Juniors were doing, like the weaker niggas dirty. Like Yamcha, and, especially Yamcha, because Yamcha was just like, bro, I'm just here for like, to support. I'm not even trying to fight, nigga. He had enough of Dr. Gero. Nigga, nigga put a hole in his chest. I gotta break that nigga arm or something? Hold on. It is something crazy to that nigga. Junior. Wait, hold on. The fuck? So, Junior. Yamcha. Yeah, they broke his arm. Like, look at this. Oh, well.
Build a website you love with
wow.
Wix. For your words,
All right. Yeah. And they can't even believe it. I know that shit hurt. That shit is Spanish. You can tell that shit hurt. Nigga said, ah! You know that shit hurt when you have like a delayed scream to it. Like a delayed scream plus a little bit of like a tiny scream. You said, ah! That is crazy. I think straight up one shot that nigga. They just like, nah, I'm about to beat his ass.
Goku with the help of Gohan, Vegeta, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin. It's kind of ridiculous. Honestly, even just adding this fight onto Goku's record is going to be super controversial because he was literally dead. Listen, if you disagree and you feel like this should not be on his record, I totally understand. But I am going to include this as a team battle for him. I don't know, it just seems like it's a special circumstance for me. Even though he physically wasn't in the battle, he was coaching Gohan all the way through and played a key role in helping him beat Cell here. Without Goku, they don't beat Cell. You feel me? If I'm not convincing you, again, I'm not mad at you. But his score for this fight, just because he played such a pivotal role, I'm going to give him a 5 for performance. And I'm dropping it by 2.5 because he had an unbelievable amount of, you know what, bro, I'm going to drop it down by 3, bro, because he had an unbelievable amount of help for this fight. And not gonna lie, I might be glazing a little bit here giving him this win, because just the more I think about it, this is just ridiculous. He wins against Super Perfect Cell. The man was dead. I'm telling you, bro, I'm telling you, some of these are tough calls. I feel like it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. So if you're gonna cook me in the comments, I'm not mad at it. You can cook me in the comments for this one. Goku gets an overall score of 6.5 for this win. All right, Goku's record in the Android Saga is looking a little bit rough. 1 win and 4 losses, and that 1 win is very controversial too. A lot of people say like, oh, this was him taking a step back. Nah, bro, he tried. He just wasn't him in this arc. It just is what it is. Like, he had amazing moments. It just wasn't him.
And at the time,
like, one.
If he would have pulled up, like if he would have had a heart virus, say they beat Dr. Duro, or they beat, it's like plays I was saying they beat Fat Nigga Android 19, and then Dr. Duro runs away. All the other androids would have whooped on Goku, and they were trying to kill Goku, so they might have killed that nigga. So I don't know. They would have ran down on them too bad, worse than they did the rest of them niggas, because they wasn't even looking for them. They just beat their ass just for the love of the game. Goku, they were trying to kill that nigga.
Go to Vegeta's record in the Android Saga. First fight was against Android 19, and we already established him as a 6.5. But I'm actually going to use the context adjuster to give him another 0.5 point and make him a 7, because he's just coming off a win against Goku, who's the reigning, defending, undisputed champ. And he took
that was a disrespectful kick and a disrespectful catch.
On this, make him a 7 because he's just coming off a win against Goku, who's the reigning, defending.
And damn, he can stretch all his fucking collar out of his shirt. His shit all the way fucked up. Should lose.
Champ. And he took energy from him. So this version of 19 not only had the extra aura, but he was physically stronger than the one that Goku fought. Performance-wise, this was one of Vegeta's coldest performances ever, bro. It was basically perfect. Absolutely dismantled 19, and maybe the most humiliating and satisfying defeat.
You started doing leg press on this nigga.
The only thing I knocked him for is letting his energy get absorbed by the android. It just wasn't a smart move, but it turned out not to matter at all for this fight, so I'm not going to fault him too much for it. He gets a 9.5 for performance. This was actually a hell of a win. Vegeta's overall score for this fight was 8.25. His next opponent was Android 18, and I think 17 and 18, both of them, I'd put both of them at an 8 for their level for this arc. Vegeta's performance in this one, I think it's a little bit underrated for how brutally he got finished in the end. He definitely had his moments and showed that he was still
Did you see how he ate that punch? She didn't blink.
For their level for this arc.
Hold on.
Vegeta's performance.
She didn't even blink.
In this one, I think it's a little bit underrated for how.
She didn't blink. What the fuck? That's insane. I'm like, hold on. Wait, what's going on? I know I can't read your power level, but I feel like I just became a Super Saiyan. As Max got the other nigga, I feel like there shouldn't be you shouldn't be no selling my moves like this. Something right here.
He got finished in the end. He definitely had his moments and showed that he was still no slouch power-wise, even compared to what was, at the time, the biggest threat we've ever seen. But he was going to lose this one regardless, mainly because of the stamina issue. But he could have performed better if he fought with a cooler head. I'm going to give him a 4, bringing his average
this nigga arm too.
Score to 6.
And get that nigga a second elbow.
And since he lost, that drops him down to a 4.02 for the fight with 18. Next opponent for Vegeta is Semi-Perfect Cell, and I'm going to give him a fighter score of 9. I know he lost aura after the just TM Tri-Beam Spam Festival, but this man was still an absolute threat. The way he just toyed with 16 and 18 like
Tri-Beam
was crazy. This was basically a flawless performance by Vegeta. Didn't I just say this 19 was the most humiliating? This is probably the most humiliating defeat a villain ever took in the show. Vegeta outclassed him in power, speed, skill, timing, everything, bro. And right in front of the fighter he just lost to in his last fight, who's been running.
I know she was like, what the fuck? Because like, to them niggas is just like, they don't know shit about these niggas besides they just, they go good friends or whatever. They don't know about the time chamber or nothing. This nigga just come back this nigga been on the roids? That's what they think.
Scared
Fuck
of
happened to
Vegeta's
this nigga?
opponent. This was definitely his peak in the saga and one of the coldest moments in the show. 10 out of 10. This was an amazing win for Vegeta. He gets an overall score of 9.5 for this win. Right after this fight is the fight with Perfect Cell. Again, Perfect Cell gets a 10.5 for level, and man, he got absolutely... This performance started off like the Frieza one. Cat and mouse game by Cell, just humiliating Vegeta. Probably as get back for how bad he just got done in his last form. But I'm going to give Vegeta a 4.5 for his performance, terrible as it was, just because of how cold the Final Flash was. Legendary stuff. And blew off a chunk of Cell's torso. I don't care what Cell says. He did not think he was going to do that kind of damage. And I might be being generous, but 4.5. I'm gonna get glazed comments. Oh, you're glazing Vegeta. Like, I haven't glazed Goku like 70 times already in this video, bro. I swear, dude.
I still don't
understand
I still think about that shit in extra small. That nigga ain't messing with me either. He's on Twitter too. That's nigga been retweeting stuff, nigga. I know you look at your notifications, nigga. Goddamn.
Vegeta haters. Honestly, I don't understand the Goku haters either. But there's something about Vegeta to where, like, you just start to get gremlins in the comment that just don't want to see you. Give him any credit where credit's due. It's weird, bro. It's really, really weird. It's goofy as hell. His average points for this fight is a 7.5, but he lost, so it goes down to a 5.03. Next opponent is the Cell Jr., who again we established is a 9.5 for level. I maybe should have looked at this fight a little bit closer before doing this.
Hit up Coil Ray, see she won it.
I know that Vegeta held his own the best out of all the Z fighters, except for in the anime only.
Bro, I don't know if you heard me talk about it when I first got like when I was like, she looked kind of short to be an extra large. So I'm like, maybe they're trying to go for like you know, some future trunks like crop top jacket type thing. Niggas took my arm in and I was like, what? I was like, damn. That shit was squeezing my shit. I was like, yo, this shit extra large because, like, nigga, my arms ain't that big and my arms ain't that big, you know? Extra small. I was like, ain't no way. I was like, ain't no way. I was like, bro, what?
Was putting in work. Still, I think Vegeta and
Trunks felt like goddamn being restrained.
Trunks were the only two still standing. And he was going 50-50 with the junior. I'll give him a 6. That's where I think he's
shaking up the hair on my wrist.
Average, which is going to go down because he lost this one. It's going to go down to a 5.19. And here we go. Next opponent is Super Perfect Cell. Super Perfect Cell is going to get the perfect score of 11. And Vegeta's performance was just
but you got to give him
terrible.
You got to give him a little bit more because he did help beat Cell.
He got deep fried, barbecued, sauteed, filleted.
He did get bitch slapped and like knocked out though. So I can't really, you know,
baked, that. Air fried,
like
grilled.
Like I've never seen you laid out like this before. That nigga, hold on. That nigga, let me move my camera real quick. Like, damn. That's not off of like a blast. That's just nigga backhand.
I don't know. Everything by Cell. Credits due to him though. He made Cell in his prime brace for impact. That was a nasty key blast by Vegeta. You guys remember? Even Gohan was like, dang. Once again, the key attack is going to save Vegeta's performance score from completely tanking here. I'm going to give him a 3, bringing his score to a 7, and the overall score after the loss is a 4.69. His next opponent is again Super Perfect Cell, but he fought him alongside Gohan, Goku, I guess, Piccolo, Tien, Yamcha, and Krillin. Aside from Gohan, Vegeta played the biggest role in defeating Cell. Once again, he banged him with a nasty key blast. Bro, look at the Bambi legs. Cell's gotta hate this dude at this point. He's gonna be having nightmares about Vegeta's key blast in hell. That's 3 times now he's clipped him and embarrassed him in his perfect form. And I'm dropping the score down by a 1.5 because without Gohan, this is not possible. Vegeta gets an overall score of 7.25 for this win. Vegeta's record in the Android Saga is 3 wins and 4 losses. Alright guys, let's move back over to Goku. Goku's first opponent in the Buu Saga is Yakon. Which, by the way, I guess kind of really late in the video for me to mention this, but I'm not counting filler-only fights, which kind of sucks because I did want to rank the PyCon win for Goku, but it opens up too big a can of worms, and it's just going to dilute the stats too much, with wins against Squirtle, 4-foot bald dude with a beard, Caterpillar, and other tomato cans are just going to hurt his record, so it's just best to keep the Otherworld Saga out of the records fully. But yeah, anyways, Yakon was decent, man. He wasn't a complete can like Babidi's other soldiers, aside from Dabura. I give him a 5. Goku had a good performance, had a very impressive finish at the end of the fight. I'm going to give him an 8 for his performance, though. He could have made it a little bit cleaner, and Yakon was giving him good resistance before he murked him with Super Saiyan 2, so I feel like 8 sounds right to me. Goku's going to get overall score of 6.5 for this win. His next fight was against Majin Vegeta, my favorite fight in the series. Check out the breakdown I made for it if you haven't already. Vegeta was an absolute beast of a fighter and a powerhouse, but definitely at least a notch below the elite in this arc. I'm going to give bro an 8.5. I think that's pretty on point for him actually. Because remember, this arc, the max score goes up to 11.5. Goku had a great showing in this fight, but Vegeta was just a step ahead, man, especially early on. Goku rallied back in the championship rounds, but it wasn't enough. I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 for this one because this was still very good and one of the highest scores you'll get for, still losing a fight. Of course, as we all know, Goku was sandbagging heavy by not using Super Saiyan 3 at the start, so we're going to use the
I don't think he could use Super Saiyan 3 though.
Context adjuster and give him a +2 for his performance. I feel
if he would have used it, his time would have ran out. And then it's like, I don't know. Because in reality, the nigga just made a new form just to make a new form. Is what it was. But yeah. I don't think he could have.
Like that's a good compromise. Or his average score is an 8.75, and with the loss, it drops down to a 5.86. Next opponent is Majin Buu. And Majin Buu, bro, Fat Buu was a solid 10.5. He's definitely elite in this arc, but he ain't cracking 11 because he's the weakest form of Buu. As for Goku's performance, Goku was teeing off on Buu in this fight and looked super impressive, but his stamina drain was bad, and he didn't fully put his foot on the gas like he does eventually in the Kid Buu fight. Goku won this fight, but there was a big question mark to his win because if it had gone on, we don't know for sure who would have won. Even though I think it still would have been Goku, I'm gonna give him a 6 for performance. Not his best win, but still solid, which brings his overall score for this fight to an 8.25. Goku's next opponent is going to be Kid Buu, and this is I'm splitting the Kid Buu fight up into 2 separate fights because he first had a 1v1, then he had to take a break, and then obviously it was the gauntlet match, right? But yeah, I'm going to give Kid Buu an 11. It's a rare case in DBZ where the final villain actually isn't the strongest villain, so I can't give him the max score, but sipping on that green tea, man. That green tea. Goku's doing really well in this fight while he lasted, but he had to forfeit to take that minute break to gather energy. And by the way, that minute wouldn't have even helped him because he actually burned out while trying to gather ki. If he didn't have Vegeta to, tag in for him and he had to keep fighting, he'd have gotten destroyed in that minute. Kind of like against Perfect Cell, Goku's PR team kept him from getting embarrassed in this fight. I'm giving him a 6.5 for performance, and honestly that might be me being generous, which brings his average score to an 8.75, and of course he lost this fight, so he gets a 5.86. Next and final fight for Goku on this list is again versus Kid Buu, but this time it's with the help of Vegeta, Fat Buu, Hercule,
the entire world,
New Namek, the human race, the Namekian race, bro, everybody. I feel like I might have helped. Kid Buu, of course, gets an 11 for score. Goku, I'm giving him an 8 for his performance just because the Spirit Bomb was legendary. Granted, he wouldn't have been able to finish it off without the help of everybody. And even then, he still needed the wish that restored his power. So I'm going to drop his performance down by 3 points for obvious reasons. So he gets a 5 for his weighted score for performance. Overall score of 8 for this win. Solid win still. Goku's record in the Buu saga was 3 wins and 2 losses. Finally, we're going to take a look at Vegeta's record in the Buu saga. Starting with his first opponent, Pui Pui. Look, bro. Pui Pui was a bin man, tomato can, waste man bum. He was trash, bro. I'm giving him a 2.5 for level, and that's me being generous. My bad. Looks like I got my notes here. Looks like I adjusted him to a 2. Yeah, I dropped him down to a 2. Okay. Dude, he's a bum. He deserves the 2. All right. Vegeta completely styled on him and finished him with these. Flawless performance. He gets the 10, and his score for this win is a 6. Vegeta's next opponent is Goku, and listen, Goku is him. I'm giving him a level of 10.5 for this arc. Same tier as Fat Buu. Definitely below Kid Buu though. I can't believe how many people think that Goku would beat Kid Buu. Hell no. He ain't beating Kid Buu. Goku's at 10.5 for level, but we're going to obviously use the context adjuster and drop him down by 2 points, down to an
He literally
8.5,
lost to that man.
because
He literally could not beat him.
Was sandbagging. He stayed in Super Saiyan 2 for the whole fight, and 8.5 is his level as a Super Saiyan 2, which is the same level that I gave for Vegeta, so it makes sense. For performance though, listen, to me it was a legendary performance for Vegeta because he was going up against, if not the very best, then at least the top 3 pound for pound fighter of all of the series. You feel me? He landed more shots than Goku, caught him off guard with a lot of traps, just outfought him, period. Pound for pound, nobody's doing this well against Goku on an even playing field. So I'm going to give Vegeta a 9 for his performance, even though it was a very hard fought battle. But I'm going to adjust it by dropping him down a point because of the cheap shot at the end of the fight. So it brings him down to an 8. Vegeta gets an overall score of 8.25 for his win against Goku. His next opponent is Majin Buu, who we established before is a 10.5. And I mean, Vegeta did as well as he possibly could. He gave a good account of himself, but he just couldn't handle the power difference. It was straight up impossible for him to win here.
Yeah, you have to like disintegrate that nigga right here, just not winning.
Bringing him to an average of 7.25.
Like, insane regeneration.
Is going to bring him down to
if you are like fucking him up,
4.86 for the fight against Fat Buu.
Fine,
Next opponent is Kid Buu, who has a score of 11. And same thing here as the Fat Buu matchup. He did as well as he could, and he showed his toughness, lasting a whole minute getting cooked by Buu. Goku didn't think he could do it. He had less to offer here, though, than he did against Fat Buu, so I'm going to give him a 3. Let's get an average out to 7, and with the loss, it brings him down to a 4.69 for the score. And the final fight is, again, against Kid Buu, who's an 11. Again, it's Vegeta with the help of Goku and everybody. Now that I think about it, he played the role here that Goku played in a lot of the group fights. This time, he was the coach, the hype man, the idea guy. He did fight, he was stalling Buu, but he was getting fried. Overall, though, he was definitely clutch in this gauntlet match, so I'm going to give him a 4.5 for performance, even though he didn't physically do much. We're dropping this performance score down by 3 points, just like we did with Goku, so bringing his performance down to a 1.5, the overall score for this win being 6.25. Vegeta had the same record as Goku actually in this saga, 3 wins and 2 losses. Alright guys, we're done. So let's take a look at some of these stats and just yap a little bit, like I haven't been yapping for I don't even know how long at this point.
But
so
Vegeta wins
Goku's
because
record as 10 wins, 9 losses, and 1 draw.
Because they didn't count any of his Dragon Ball fights.
The sum is 125.14 with his average point value per fight being 6.26. And for Vegeta, his overall record is 12 wins and 11 losses. The sum of his points is 138.33, so higher than Goku's, but he had a couple more fights. When you look at his average point value per fight, it's a little bit lower than Goku's at 6.01. Goku's average opponent level is 8.63, and his opponent's average adjusted point level is 9.03. Vegeta's opponents are on average a little bit weaker, 8.26 average level, 8.52 average adjusted level. But yeah, dude, so you see, like, the thing is, these guys have a high average level opponent, and that's why they're racking up a lot of losses. For Goku, I'm going to put his top 5 wins on the screen here. So I got Frieza, then Nappa, and then Burter and Jace, Majin Buu, and Kid Buu. Those were the top wins that earned him the most points. And for Vegeta, it was Semi-Perfect Cell, and then Goku in the Saiyan Saga, Goku in the Buu Saga again, so he's 2-0 against Goku, we all know this. Android 19, and Super Perfect Cell, you know, during the Gauntlet match. In the end, who had the best resume? It was Goku, man. Goku had the best resume. He fought on average the better opponents, and he scored on average more points. Both times that Goku fought Vegeta in Z, Vegeta won, but Goku had the better career. But I bet some of you are surprised to see that it's not by that much, though. They both have one more win than they do losses, and they both have almost the same amount of fights. I mean, come on. Do you see now why
I need them to hurry up and come up with
body of work so much? Like, I'm not some fence sitter. It is what it is. Vegeta had a fire record. The only thing is, though, you know what really separated Vegeta and Goku's record, though?
The super manga that read the new arcs.
Put that stamp on Goku's
career. Might react to that.
You know what I mean? To say, boom,
not right now, but
case closed.
Might react to the manga next stream. Yeah. Ian Chow, this nigga Sensible Saiyan. I really fuck with his channel. His editing is fire too. Like I said, he kind of does like breakdowns of like anime fights, mainly Dragon Ball, but like the UFC fights. Really, I watched this one earlier on stream. But yeah, this nigga T did him so dirty, so dirty. He get a couple from Yu Yu Hakusho and like Naruto, I think. But which one is the most popular? Shout out to him. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it. Even on stream for goddamn me. Goddamn. So yeah. We're gonna call it. Stay tuned for some more. I'm gonna stream it every Thursday. I'm gonna try to at least. Might stream tomorrow too because I'm off tomorrow, low key. But we might. I don't know. I don't know what's stream tomorrow or not. But well, video tomorrow for sure. But also, there you're trying to get tossed around, trying to get put on the mat, trying to get tapped out. Some WWE. You just let me know. But by the end of the stream, I will see y'all on the next one. Peace. Da-na-na, da-na-na-na. Da-na-na-na. Bow.